gets dark.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the DemonPeaks podcast, dirtiest place aside of the Roadhouse, and the only podcast, the only one we've checked. Didn't we check?
Yeah.
On the entirety of the internet.
I checked.
We checked all the tubes. You can hear about Twin Peaks. I'm, of course, DemonPeaks. That's Sean. This is GothPeaks. That's Adam. Say hello, Adam.
What's going on, everybody?
On today's show, we're going to be talking about our top 5 favorite live albums. That's live albums only, and not the band live. They are not permitted to be on this list.
Who I like?
Okay, they have that one song. I
don't know.
I don't know what the fuck the song is, but it's everybody sounded like that in the 90s, so it was fine. They were just everybody was doing Eddie Vedder impressions. Yeah.
He did this in front of the camera.
Yeah, like a bunch.
Yeah.
Before we start, I want to give a shout out to people who did our opening song. Lula is in trouble. Song is Midnight Coffee. And if you're on YouTube, our logos and art were done by Corvid Days. Find them on Etsy. They do amazing work. I believe it's a black girl too, so it's like black-owned business. If you're worried about that, I believe she is.
There you go.
I have no way of proving that. I think she is. Her avatar is, but she could be like a dude, so who knows? And the show opening was done by Goth themselves, and like I say every week, I love it. He did an incredible job. Frank Booth is amazing.
Thank you.
I don't know if format you listen to this on, but it's offered on YouTube. Look for DemonPeaks Podcast. Subscribe on there. And Anchor, look for the same, or on Spotify. We're on a bunch of other shit. I say this every week. I don't know. Find it. Look it up.
Search it. Find it. I'm sure
Google,
you'll find it.
Bing.
Somewhere.
What is it?
It's available to you.
Ask Jeeves.
Do you know, are we on Apple Podcasts too?
What the fuck did I just say? I don't know.
I thought maybe one of
them listening to me?
Like confirmed. I thought
I have no idea.
Confirmed for you
I think it. I think
listening.
We are. I think Charlie said we were, didn't she?
I don't know.
Coral's brother or sister.
Okay.
I'll check out our Instagrams.
I don't remember.
That's what this whole thing's about. This is where we got the whole thing from. This is our whole life. DemonPeaks and GothPeaks. DemonPeaks is the best Twin Peaks meme, and GothPeaks does some stuff sometimes. We're going to start out with some. I do the 3 questions. I'm going to start with something from last week. We talked to Visteria. I'm going to call them Lodge last week. Great people, by the way. Amazing people. Very intelligent
awesome.
people.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed talking to them. They gave us a whole new experience. They really felt like rock stars. They had that aura.
They were cool.
They were very cool. They were very cool.
They were fucking cool, man.
And I want to say for me, and then I'll let you talk about it. I was very nervous about meeting them, and normally I go through and say the director of the episode and the viewers and the title. I didn't do any of that last week. So if you're wondering why, it was just a nervous thing. It was a lack of professionalism on our part. It was our first guests, and so we were really trying to make it work and make the format work. I want to apologize to anybody who thought that we didn't do a good enough job. I don't know if anybody had complaints. It's not out yet. So, and you have something you want to say about it.
Yeah, man. So I was very nervous as well, so, and like you said, it was our first guest, and I'm completely new to this, you know, this whole podcasting thing, talking in front of the camera, talking with other people more often than I usually do at work. It's a little strange for me. So I'm learning how to communicate again. And so it makes things a little bit hard. So you throw that into the mix of having our first guest and all that stuff. It got me pretty nervous. So I barely talked on that episode, man. I couldn't really say much. I didn't want to say much because I was pretty enthralled by what they were saying. But when it did come time for me to talk, I was still too nervous, man.
That's why I wanted to bring this up. I feel like it's important for us to have some catharsis about things that we do, and this is a sort of a public therapy session.
Absolutely.
So I think that's good. You know, I wouldn't worry too much about it. We'll get into the hang of things. Like you said, I don't talk to anybody. I do 2 YouTube shows a week, so I get all my conversation out to the screen.
That's good. You have that practice though.
Yeah, and I have a
You have that
2-year-old that,
going.
you know, she talks a little bit, but we don't exactly have engaging conversations. You know, we're talking about the Bolshevikian Revolution or anything like that quite yet.
Yeah.
And you know, I wanted to transition that into people that we've talked to on YouTube, on Instagram, since we've started our moderately successful Instagram pages. Have you talked to any celebrities or anybody of note? I know you specifically have talked to some Twin Peaks people.
Yeah. Of course, there's at Big Lee Marvin fan, George
I
Griffith.
love that. I love Lee Marvin.
That
So
fucker Ray.
yeah,
Yeah.
I like. He's a good guy.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and he's awesome, man. I think he started following me because he saw the Nick Cave
Yeah,
memes that we were
yeah.
doing for Nick Cave week. So that was fucking cool. But yeah, he was cool enough to add me and you know, like my stuff. I sent him a message saying thanks for the follow, the big fan and everything. And he was really cool and messaged back, and I was, I was, pretty blown away. That was pretty cool.
And you had Krista, didn't you? Bell,
Hmm?
Krista Bell.
Christabel, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Of course, Christabel.
she started following you.
Huh?
She started following you and good. Tell her, you know,
Oh yeah, no. It was I think it was
man's high
after I
as a kite.
posted the Cure. It was a meme for the Cure, and I tagged her in it. So after that, I think she started following me. I think, yeah, I put her and David Lynch and Miguel Ferrer on the cover of the Cure's pornography album.
Which was a great meme and a great album.
Yeah, it was a fun one to make. Thank you for that. Yeah. I thought it was appropriate because she's in that band with Mark Collin from
Yeah.
Vague.
Good band. It's a good band too. Yeah, it's a good band.
Yeah, they did some really awesome Cure covers.
She just has that. She can suck a crowd in. You know, like I
Yeah.
said, from the diaphragm, she really gets it. It's beautiful.
Have you seen her new video?
I did. It wasn't too long ago. It came out.
Cool.
Yeah. She
Yeah,
got
killer
that
video. It's really cool.
She's a very interesting person. She should be more popular. I think that she is.
Yeah, I agree, man.
Yeah.
Deserves it for sure.
So that was interesting. I mean, so we've met, you know, for me, mine are a little bit different because my, I mean, Ray followed me not too long ago. I didn't say anything to him because I'm not an ass kisser, but 2 guys that I have a lot of respect for. Excuse me, I'm a little under the weather, so forgive my sniffling and whatnot. 2 guys that I have a lot of respect for that I talked to. One was Bill Oakley, who was a showrunner on The Simpsons and like middle seasons, early middle seasons. And he also did Mission Hill, which is a cartoon I loved.
Nice.
I've talked to him a couple of times and I feel so stupid. He's the guy, you ever see Steamed Hams, the Simpsons thing? Skinner makes the cheeseburgers.
No,
Yeah,
I haven't.
He wrote that. He wrote a lot of stuff. So I've talked to him because he posts fast food reviews all the time. And he'll be like in his car eating fast food, making reviews. We've talked a couple times. And I feel so stupid because I don't know what to say. I'm like, oh man, I'm a big fan. Thank you. You're so cool.
Talk about fast food.
I did. We talked about it a couple of times and chips because
Nice.
He likes my favorite chip. They all dressed Saisonné. You can only get in Canada. Nice. My favorite chip. Another guy
you share something in common with someone.
Yeah, but you know what I was getting at is these people are people too. They're human beings.
Yes.
And we think of them as this kind of, you know, reverence. And they're just like you and me. They're just more successful.
Exactly.
Another guy I want to talk about, and this is Twin Peaks related. Jim Kruger is a comic book writer. He wrote one of my favorite comics of all time, Earth X. I also did Paradise X, Universe X.
I've heard that name before.
I have an Earth X tattoo. It's Captain Marvel, the original, not Billy Batson, Marvel. And we were talking one time. I posted something and like tagged him in it, and he told me in Universe X there's a Twin Peaks reference. And I'm going to spoil it. So Jim, if you're listening, I'm giving this way to the world. So Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman, is dead. Okay. And Reed Richards, Miss Fantastic, you know, can stretch real long, wants to get his wife back. So they get the soul gem and they find her soul, and he takes his arm and stretches it into a body. And they put her soul into it. So Sue is the arm.
Oh shit.
And he told me that, and I was like, that's Yeah, that's good shit.
Nice.
Yeah, so
Awesome.
there's a little Twin Peaks Marvel crossover there for you. You don't get too
Is
often.
Twin Peaks not one of the most ubiquitous things of all time?
It can be in anything. Everything has done it.
Seriously, man.
Video games frequently have some Twin Peaks theme. I see a lot of Easter eggs, a
Mhm.
lot more than you'd imagine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I haven't played any more of it, but that Alan Wake game is very Twin
It's very
Peaksy.
Twin Peaks. Yeah, Alan Wake.
Yeah.
That was off the market for years and years and years. I've had it for like 10 years, and
Yeah, they just randomly remastered it
it
and
there was some
came out.
licensing problem. I think that took like probably with the music. It's often with the music is a problem.
Was there
It take
actual
it,
like
there was
actual
I believe there
soundtrack
was
on it?
licensed music, and it got taken off to be sold at all. It was gone for like 5 or
Mhm.
6 years. Maybe not quite that bad, but it just came back not too long ago. It's a good game. Yeah, the second one's
Yeah,
okay.
I gotta find the time to play it.
So we're gonna be talking about some live albums today. I just wanted to
Mhm.
talk a little bit about that. But so, a question about live albums: what makes
Yeah.
a good live album, and why is that different from a regular album?
So, I mean, you with the regular album, you have repeat plays over and over and over. A live album is like a, different view on the songs. But what I think a live album should be, a good representation of what the band is about during their live shows, obviously. And
Just a
I think the
cross section
production
of that.
is, huh?
A good cross section of this is what you're going to hear if you see us.
Yeah, exactly. And a good display of their attitude and what they're about, if they're that kind of band that has to display an attitude.
I think
Um,
everybody, even if they don't have a gimmick, has an attitude. Kenny
yeah.
G goes up there and he's still got to be Kenny G. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't want him to go up there and
absolutely.
fucking Gigi Allen the stage or something.
For like about I'm sorry, you said Kenny G.
Yeah.
For about 2 or 3 months, Kenny, when I was like 5 or 6 years old, Kenny G was my neighbor.
Was he really? Was he
Yeah, he lived
nice?
at
He
the
seems
apartment
nice.
across. Yeah, it was very nice. He gave me a CD of him doing a cover of the Titanic song
I
on
like
his
that.
little
I
on his
like that
horn.
what he gives away is him doing stuff. Like
Yeah, yeah,
that's a level of fame that I could never hope. Hey, you know what you get from a famous person? Something that they did because they're so famous that it doesn't matter. Like it's worth
I
something.
really hope I'm not making that up, but I do recall that being a very
Why don't
weird,
you
odd
why don't you
fact from my
commit to it?
childhood.
Even if you made it up, you commit to it now. Don't
Oh,
second
I
guess.
am
Don't
because
second
I do.
guess yourself. Oh,
I'm
don't put
pretty
it in.
confident about it.
Like
So
it
how about I
wasn't.
proceed with confidence and
Yeah,
say yes, that is
it
true.
definitely was sexually assaulted by Kenny G when he was a child.
Yeah,
That's
he's gentle
fact.
though. He played great music during it. So I mean,
The horn, Do you ever
can I
see?
call it an assault? Man, I enjoy the music.
It's a smooth beat for the hand job.
Oh man,
So you were saying good cross
go
section and
on
good.
there.
What else do you
Yeah,
think
good.
is the big difference? Is that it? You just think it's
No, no. I mean, also I think you get different deliveries of the instrument. So be it especially the vocals, you get different singing styles. You get different tempos, which can be a good thing or a bad thing at times. But and that includes the difference in what you're hearing as well, as opposed to the original studio version. But if done right, you get a really more raw, soulful performance of the song that you already love. You know, and
or
and a bunch of different.
a totally different take sometimes too. You may get like a way out
Oh
there,
yes, yes, absolutely, for
and
sure.
sometimes that's like a hidden gem.
That's apparent with Tool. They had an EP, I believe, called the Salvo EP,
Yeah,
and they had a different version of their song, Push It. Just done slightly differently, but much better, much more transcendent and amazing. Longer, I think.
I could never get into Tool.
No,
I'm not a problem. I have no problem with them. Just never. I
no, I
never
mean,
really
you
like.
don't get into something, you don't
Yeah,
get into something. No, I like them a lot.
I had a friend who loved Tool. He used to get in fights with this other guy about who was better, Tool or Johnny Cash. And I'm like, why is this an argument? How is this the argument?
It shouldn't be
And it was
debated. I mean,
a regular fight. Like they'd have it every time they hung out. I'm like, why do you either of you give a shit about this?
they're really committing to that.
Yeah, it was a running
That's
gag
silly.
that wasn't
That's a
funny.
very silly argument. The gag's old.
Yeah.
Let it go.
I have a story about that guy. I'll tell you some other time.
Okay.
But I agree with that. You not only are you, this is what you should expect. This is also, are they creative on the fly? Are they able to take their, are they just going to play the same fucking songs the same exact goddamn way that you could hear exactly the same, or are they going to give us a little bit something special? That's what makes a live performance, is something special. I can listen to fucking music anytime.
Yeah, exactly.
So I agree. The last question I have on here, we were talking about this earlier. Do you like your ass eaten relating to live music?
Sure.
Okay. Sure. I love it. That's a fact. All right. I don't know why we were talking about that, but that's on my questions list. So it must have came up at some point. I hope it was you I was talking to about it, not someone else. And then I'm just fucking confused as to who the hell I was talking to about it.
I don't think it was.
I have a lot of conversations and I have a drinking problem, so I don't remember most of them. And we're gonna do our top fives. I have no honorable mentions. You don't even have a fucking list. You don't have fucking anything written down.
Anything written down? I have it all in here. It may not be a steel trap, but it's a temporary trap.
Yeah, it's a Halliburton, all right. Do you want to start? You want me to start?
Let's have you start.
Okay, number 5. This is going to be a weird one. I don't think people will expect this one. I took a long time on these to do. I pained over these. One
rule that I gave myself is that it had to be an official album release.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. I think most of mine are too. I don't think there's any that aren't.
Like it can't just be like a DVD only thing.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm talking about like an actual CD, like it was something that you listen to without the video at times, even if it does have a video to accompany it.
I think only one of these does also have a video, but it was an album release.
I think a few of mine might have a video. I'll know once I mention it.
I did a rule for myself. I tried to pick stuff that I didn't already talk about in other videos.
I probably should have followed that rule.
Yeah, because I didn't want it to be the same. Oh, Nick gave, blah blah blah. So number 5 is a shocker for even me, but it's a nostalgia for me, and I'll get into that. The Slackers, Slack in Japan from 2005.
Not familiar.
They are a ska band, which is embarrassing enough to admit.
No, they sound like a ska band. Ska is awesome, and ska is fucking fun, dude.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of fun. The only dance I can do is skank. So whatever.
Yeah.
So it reminds me, this album came out when I was dating this girl named Emily, who was married to a closet homosexual. And that's not an insult. He came out after they divorced. And we and her dated, and he used to buy me blaxploitation films and give them to me when I would go on dates with his wife. Nice. And this was an album that we listened to a lot. So it brings me back to like friends that I knew and people and places. Because I had a couple friends who were really into ska and just, people I haven't talked to in 20 years and times and parties and just interest, it brings me back to a different time. I remember this album and feeling a great wave of nostalgia when I re-listened to it, So there's that.
Awesome. What's a good song for me to check out? Can I
I like they're all pretty. Married Girl is probably the best song on it. It's a song with it. It's kind of a funny, ska song about getting killed.
Nice. Awesome.
Okay,
I like it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so number 5 for me will be third time mentioning them. And like I said, I don't listen to them much anymore. But I have to keep the list honest for me.
Is it Metallica?
Yeah, it is. It's Metallica S&M from '99, I think it was, where they played with the San Francisco Symphony Orchestra. And like I said, man, I grew up loving Metallica, and this is actually a really good example of probably my earliest example of getting a different perspective on the song. Like I said, Wherever I May Roam was my favorite from them, and then hearing that a few years later, as I'm just a little bit older, I think like 9 years old, hearing it in a different way with the symphony sung differently. His vocals are very different, around this time. So, it gave me a different perspective on the song, a different appreciation for it. And so I was able to hear the song in 2 different ways. So it gave me variety,
Yeah, so, I accept that. That's pretty good.
But also the production quality of it too. Whatever, however they recorded it, whatever sound they got from the booth or whatever it was, fucking crisp and beautiful, dude.
Well, I'll give Metallica a lot of shit, but the thing I won't give a shit about is the quality of their sound has always been excellent.
I can't
Excellent.
say that for all their. I think there was
for the
the
most
one they
part,
did with
though,
Rick Rubin sound like shit.
okay, well, I blame Rick Rubin for that.
It was weird. Yeah.
And they had that. What was the one? Garage Inc. when it was just covers.
It had the cover of Loverman on there.
Yeah, it did.
There were some good covers on there, though.
There was not a good cover on there. It was not.
No. But not Loverman was bad.
Certainly not. Like certainly that. Not that one. Yeah, they did a Misfits cover, and it was fucking terrible. And
I know the first disc was newer covers they did.
Yeah.
And the second disc was all the older shit.
And like I know it's just for fun, but like I don't. They shouldn't get paid for that. Thank God.
I gotta say also.
Thank God for Napster.
I gotta say on the live performance on S&M for the song "Until It Sleeps," he sounds Until It Sleeps was on the album Load. Yeah, he sounds a lot like Dave Gahan in that performance.
Oh, that's kind of weird.
At least in the first part. Not for the whole song, but the first verse, he sounds like dangerously close to Dave Gahan.
Well, I wonder what that's about, huh? I've never listened to him and been like, you know what,
dude, his voice sounds really cool for that performance.
He's got he's got an interesting voice.
It's not growly. There's like no rasp to it. It's all very clean vocals, but it's really good.
Well, outside of the Scandinavians, he was the growly guy for a long time. You know what I mean? Like that was his shtick.
High pitch growly.
Yeah, he could do it. Like I said, outside of the Scandinavians, of course.
Yes, that's my number 5.
Not a bad choice. I disagree entirely, but that's fine.
Thanks. We still could have said it's not a bad choice. Thank you.
Well, it's your choice. You pick whatever the fuck you want, but it still sucks. Number 4. Another one that I don't know if people know how much I love this band, but I love this band a lot. Oingo Boingo's Farewell, 1996. They sound.
I never heard that one.
Incredible live. It's like 50 songs that they played.
What? Nice.
It was like they're going away tour, even though they've toured like 30 times since then.
Oh wow!
It's just one of those concerts. Everything that they did, the crowd was into, and so it gave this so much. Danny Elfman's got this energy like a crazy man. You know what I mean? Already, and he can just bring everybody up and up and up and up. Oingo Boingo to me is what new wave sounds like. They are the new wave band.
Oh yeah.
That sound, when I think of new wave, I think of like Oingo Boingo. That's the first band that pops in my head. Every time I hear them though, I think of Portlandia. They're talking about you can't have an asymmetrical haircut and not like Oingo Boingo. Are they wrong? I don't think so. That. I don't think they're wrong. But I love Oingo Boingo. They've got a billion great songs. They've got a billion. I've talked to people, they're like, I've never heard of that band. I'm like, you've heard 100 songs by them. Trust me. You just don't know what they are.
And they at least would know who Danny Elfman is up until you referenced Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nightmare Before Christmas. The Simpsons. He did the theme song. Batman '89. He did all the. He's done music for everything in the past 30 years.
So good. And his newest album, fucking great.
That's great. The man's great.
He's good.
Incredibly talented. And I always say this though. Here's a trivia question for you.
Okay.
Robert Downey Jr., Kurt Vonnegut, and Danny Elfman appear in a movie together. What movie is it?
I'll tell you.
It is Back to School, starring Rodney Dangerfield.
What?
Yes.
I saw that when I was a little kid.
Robert Downey Jr. is the friend, the son's friend. He hires Kurt Vonnegut to write a paper on Kurt Vonnegut, and then it gets like a B, and he's like, I'm canceling the check. And Danny Elfman plays, and he throws a party. It's just the strangest cast that you would
That's
ever
a fucking
imagine.
awesome combo. Now I'm going to have a
the drugs
rewatch of that.
The drugs at the party there, Robert Downey Jr., Kurt Vonnegut, and Danny Elfman, they're fucked up. What the hell? I just said his name. Fat guy.
Rodney
Dangerfield is a notorious cokehead. Was a notorious cokehead.
And stoner too.
Yeah, and they said when he came in to do his lines for Caddyshack, he came in and put some cocaine on the table and just started snorting and said, "Okay, I'm ready." He just fucking did it.
He was great, man. He was great until the very end.
Oh yeah, he was
so good. And you know what, man? And his whole no respect thing, that was still valid and true for him until the very end.
He didn't get
because
any respect. He didn't.
he was not with any of his peers of that time. He did not hang out with anybody. He's
Yeah,
always
they
been
said he
that
was a
lone wolf.
real recluse. He was like really
Yeah,
didn't.
I don't know if it was all by choice either.
Some people just have that reserved nature. He may have been
Yeah,
unapproachable
yeah.
in some fashion. He was an
People loved
intimidating
him, bro.
guy. He was
People loved him.
such a big personality. It's hard to get around a guy like you might not want to make yourself look stupid in front of a guy like that. You know what I mean? He's like a Bob.
Mhm.
He's like a funny Bob Hope. You know what I mean? Just a big
Yeah,
personality.
yeah. You hate to see him in Natural Born Killers.
I thought he was brilliant in that.
Oh, yeah, but he was great in it.
Horrifying in that.
He was.
It made me
Yeah,
think.
that's the thing.
I wonder what he thought about that. I've never heard him talk about it because he was way out of his comfort. Had to be way out of his comfort zone.
I'm sure it was, but he had the way he felt about comedy, about how nothing should get in the way of your
Yeah.
comedy, how comedy is what it's all about. I'm sure that is also how he felt about art in general.
Yeah, I
I'm
believe
sure to a certain extent. So he probably felt that he was performing art.
I think the hardest thing he had to
So
do
that-
was pretend to be attracted to Juliette Lewis.
Well, she has some attractive qualities, I suppose.
I can't think of her outside of the other sister when she's like mentally handicapped. That's the only thing I can think of her in.
Yeah. Have you seen California with a K?
I don't know. Probably.
It's with Brad Pitt, Juliette Lewis.
Oh yeah,
David
yeah,
Duchovny.
yeah.
That was a cool movie.
Yeah.
She's fucking weird in that.
She's weird in everything.
Juliette
She's
Lewis.
weird. I think she's just weird. Name me a
For the
film
most
where you're
part.
like, Juliette Lewis is really normal in that. There wasn't one.
Not much, but that's the thing. That's what makes her Juliette Lewis.
Oh, but you can't go. Juliette Lewis was in that. She was really weird. She's fucking really weird in everything. It's not. It's
okay.
It's not a statement. Jack Nicholson was really high in that movie. Oh,
Huh?
okay. Oh, Jack Nicholson was really high in that movie. If I describe him as that, that's every fucking movie. Describe every movie he's ever done.
He has a kite.
Yeah.
No,
Go ahead. What's your next one?
Nicholson.
Before you
Alright.
devolve into a Jack Nicholson fucking.
I'm gonna make you proud with an impression one day, I swear.
Their impressions are pretty good. Yeah, I don't have any
Thank you.
impressions.
Okay, so I'm on what? My number 4?
4, yeah.
Okay, number 4 will be the birthday party live from 81 to 82, I think it is, which I just bought on vinyl.
Great,
It's an essential.
great fucking
Yeah.
album.
Just bought it from Midnight Hour, my local record shop. Fucking awesome, dude. I've already heard the thing a million times. I mean, but I needed that thing on vinyl for sure. And that's one that I would say is where an album where I listen to that more than I listen to any of their studio albums.
Oh yeah, I actually agree with that 100%. That's a brilliant album.
That's what the birthday party was, a live band.
Yeah, they were
I mean,
gritty and angry and hate filled,
Mhm.
and you know what I mean. And I think
was
Mutiny in
always like a
Heaven
violent
perfectly exemplifies that. You know,
Mhm. Yeah, totally. But opening with Junkyard, dude, oh, that's fucking song. And that live version I saw of that on YouTube, there's this one, it's like a pro shot and everything. Fucking awesome, dude. Nick is wearing like a gray suit and his hair's all big and he's doing these crazy like hip moves.
his
and
weird
shit.
hip
He's
dances
fucking,
that he does, like
yeah,
he's a
it's
belly
so
dancer.
weird.
Well, the man's
And
like,
what's the name of the bass player? The guy that wears a cowboy hat.
I forget his name.
Dude,
Right,
he's playing his bass and he's fucking humping and gyrating throughout the whole song until he's on the floor with his bass humping up into the air.
I mean, that's some hip action right there. That's
It was
powerful hips.
great, man. So yeah, I mean, you had fucking Nick, Roland, Mick, fucking bass player. I'm forgetting his name.
I can't remember his
small
name.
mustache.
Yeah, mustache guy.
But dude, that whole fucking album is amazing.
That's
Captures their fucking grittiness perfectly.
I totally forgot about that album. Or it would be on. I totally forgot about it. I don't know how. I love that. Listen, that's the only birthday party I listen to is that one. Like yourself, I don't listen to their studio stuff. It's the studio stuff's fine, but if I'm going to listen to Nick in the studio
stuff for sure.
But if I'm going to listen to Nick in the studio, I'm just going to listen to the Bad Seeds. Like, you know what I mean?
I got you.
I'd rather have the birthday party live because that's what they were. They were a jam band. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
They were just like.
And that live album is another good production, really good recording quality.
Yeah, which is surprising
cool.
because it doesn't seem like
because of its time.
Yeah, and like who they were and where they were playing and everything was
The small
not.
clubs they were
Yeah, it
playing,
was
yeah.
like nothing about it says this is going to be a really good, well sounding album. But Nick was always a
When you
stickler.
hear that band, dude, it's one of the most unsustainable things ever. So it couldn't last long,
No, volatile.
and it didn't last long.
No. Well, they were
Yeah,
like what was it, the Boys Next Door and then the Birthday Party. The Boys Next Door only had one album, the
yeah, it's like
self-titled, the
one album and like
self-titled.
an EP, I think,
Yeah,
maybe.
like an EP, and then
Yeah,
Birthday
it
Party
was
didn't.
really good for what it
Yeah,
was.
but it's one of
Shivers is
those
a
things where
great song.
he
Yeah.
he was blowing up. He was just in his brain. Nick was blowing up. He
Mhm.
was losing his shit constantly. He was
Yeah.
drugged out. He was fucked up. He was just nothing he did was going to be more than 2 or 3 albums.
Yeah. Yeah, at
You
that
know what I
time for
mean?
sure.
Until he got
I love
clean.
that I love that Anita wrote a lot of those songs for the
Yeah,
birthday party.
yeah.
Yeah.
Underrated talent there as well.
I love that her compilation album, Dirty Pearl.
Mhm.
Yeah, dude. I think my favorite performance of her, since we're talking about live music, probably one of my
Yeah.
all-time favorite songs being performed live is I'm not familiar with this band, Die Hoot. Do you know this band? It's Nick
Not
Cave
familiar.
affiliated. Nick Cave or Birthday Party
That
affiliated.
doesn't fucking mean anything. It was every band for
It's
3
Berlin
years.
affiliated.
Yeah.
Berlin affiliated at least. So
Okay.
I think it's that band, but they're doing the song Subterraneans. How long have we known each other?
Okay. I know the
It's
song.
Anita and Blixa singing together. They're
Oh,
both
oh.
singing different. Yeah, are you not familiar with this?
I'm not. No,
I
no,
gotta
no.
send this to you,
Yeah,
dude. It's
please
one.
do.
It fucking moves me to tears sometimes. It's because it's such and it's a weird song to have that happen because it's just like a really silly, softly spoken, almost mumbled narrative that's being spoken through two different people, and but it's one of the most awesome and most like beautiful things I've ever heard.
Blix is kind of
I
hard to
love it.
understand in general. His voice is so deep that it like muffles over itself.
You're gonna love his voice in this one. You can
I
understand him, and
I
he
love him.
sounds great.
I don't
Don't
care
you
what
love
he
his
does.
voice, dude?
Did you watch his
He
did you watch his vampire movie?
no, you linked it to me, but
It's
I never got
it's
around to watching it.
it's garbage. It's hilarious.
It's just
So
fun to
stupid.
watch,
It's so
right?
fucking stupid. Music's
I
great.
do love I love that fucking Einsters and Neubauten fucking live
Oh man.
weird movie
Yeah. Yeah.
where it's like an
They're just
80
fucking
something.
weird. They're just Isis Noibot was not a band. They were just things happening that someone taped.
I
A
love
series of
hearing stories.
occurrences.
I love like how many fucking artists that we admire
Mm.
like mention Einsters and Neubauten as like one of the
Oh,
great live bands we've ever seen live.
I have a weird story about that. So, I told you this one about Henry Rollins' tattoo.
Yeah, what about it?
Henry
I
Rollins
recall you
has
mentioning something about
he
it.
has an Isis Neubutton tattoo. All right, it's
Okay.
on his. I think it's right here.
Oh, and he thought it was a Henry
Yeah, and
Rollins tattoo.
my ex
Okay, yeah, I
girlfriend had
remember.
Isis Neubutton on the back of her neck, and she had short hair. And a guy came up and he
Mhm.
was like, "Really cool, Henry Rollins tattoo," and she's like, "Thanks."
Thanks.
It's not. But
Oh man.
what's the point of even
That's-
arguing with someone like that? It's a really cool Henry Rollins tattoo. Do you think Henry Rollins has like? I guess he has a black flag tattoo. So yeah, he would have his own tattoo.
Yeah, probably. No, but he did it after joining the band, right? You know?
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, it's so you can say that because I can't say, oh, why would Henry Rollins have his own tattoo? Because he does.
Yeah. But man, Blixa, that's someone you would.
Else.
Yeah, he's amazing.
I love the guy. He doesn't fucking
he
do
can
anything.
serenade you with his voice, or he can scare you with his freaking shriek.
Or he can pretend to be like a woodland animal.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he lets it out in Stagger Lee from the Bad Seeds. Fucking
Stagger Lee. Well, I was running a restaurant one time and I put on Nick Cave radio or whatever, and fucking Stagger Lee came on, and I'm like,
oh no,
I gotta get and change this off. We were packed. It was like a Saturday night. And I'm like, oh my God, change. You cannot let Stagger Lee play.
Change it.
There are children in the room. Even if there's not,
so I need to be connected via Bluetooth so you can get your phone out. Skip.
Yeah. Well, we had like terrible internet in the place, so it was a pain in the ass. But
oh no, I'm just fucking
Stagger Lee.
Yeah, that'll drive some people out.
I'm surprised they played it on the channel.
On what channel?
It was like fucking.
Oh, you mean the radio station?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, maybe you didn't have like
Bad Seeds radio or something like that.
You probably didn't have the safe.
I don't know.
Safety pussy mode.
I wanted to. So you know what the guy put on after that? He put the entirety of Sports On by Huey Lewis, front to back. That's what he changed from Stagger Lee to the entirety.
A big pendulum swing right there,
the
right?
whole
That's
album.
a big swing.
And it's not a short. Sports is not a short album.
No, it's long.
I like Huey Lewis, but I don't. That's not a fair. Yeah.
What did he sound too? I don't know.
You gonna make a Huey Lewis joke? Well, go ahead. Is he 3 feet thick? Is it gonna be?
I was gonna mention American Psycho.
Did you read the book?
No. My girlfriend has the book. It's in the bookshelf somewhere. Here, I gotta.
Yeah, it's a good book. Read it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. You have that, right? Yeah.
All right, moving along. I believe it's me, correct? Mm-hmm. Yes. Number 3. Townes Van Zandt, live at the Old Quarter, Houston, Texas, 1977. Townes
I'm not familiar with
Townes
him that much.
Is a musician's musician. He's a songwriter's songwriter. There's a list of musicians that were influenced by him is this, like, the Wikipedia entry, just listing people who influenced by him is this long. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He influenced like every musician. Like, what is it? There's Neil Young, Willie Nelson, Lyle Lovett, who was on the last show, Chelsea Wolfe, etc., etc. Just like all these people loved him, and he's this. I don't even want to call it country, outlaw music.
Yeah, I know what you mean, because there's a big difference between country and this outlaw country.
Tired, strained. He's not ragged, but he sounds. There's a pain in everything he says. There's a feeling. He's incredible. If you don't know Townes Van Zandt, do some favor, just listen to some of his stuff. He's got the heart and soul and pain in everything he says. Even if it's like a goofy song, it sounds like you're going to be depressed from listening to it.
Just because of his delivery.
Immensely talented man. He could do everything. And I listen to him, and he does stuff just with his guitar by himself sometimes, Here's a song,
cool. So
doing a medley.
That's very, would you say it's like kind of folky, kind of? Yeah.
I'd say there's a little bit of folk in there. Yeah, I think outlaw has a little bit of folk in it. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
Because they're telling stories. They're telling tales. And that's more folk than it is country. You know what I mean? Like, they're telling ballads. Almost. Townes Van Zandt,
check it out for sure.
An incredible musician. Doesn't get the respect, not nearly outside of musicians talking about him, no one talks about him.
Is he still alive?
No, he died. He went insane and then died. So he had a really horrible life too. Like, it was a depressing life. I think his wife,
he was singing about tough shit back then. I think his wife died,
it was either his wife or his brother. I forget who died. And he went insane, and they locked him up, and they died. That was like it. Yeah, it was depressing.
That's awful, man.
And you can, looking at the guy, you can tell he was not well.
Man, it makes me always appreciate an artist when they've gone through such a great time. Such a hard time, and then fucking come out stronger on the other side.
Yeah, they can turn the pain of their tormented life into something magical. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's always impressive. It's like,
because there's only like 2 directions you can go after.
Well, often it goes one direction, and then they doing well, and then it's fucking right down. Like, look at Alice in Chains. You know what I mean? I mean, he's a perfect example of, Lane is a perfect example of really, really talented, using his pain to make music, and then just fucking done. He never got back from it.
There, man. That was my high school obsession band.
I love me some Alice in Chains. I know.
Absolutely obsessed.
Yeah. Like I said, I grew up with a lot of grunge, and they're certainly grunge.
Same. We're gonna have to talk more about grunge sometime for sure.
So talking
that was a big part of my.
It was something that happened in the '90s, and we don't talk about it anymore.
Well, no, I'm talking
like
about
Bill Clinton. Did you hear Bill Clinton's a pedophile?
Oh, because his name, he like flew the fucking
they clean up all his
like
fucking
17 or 22 times.
Clean up all his cum stains.
I said 17 times because I think it was revealed that that's how many times Jeffrey Epstein went into the White House while Bill Clinton.
Yeah, he was in there fucking giving him a hand job, probably.
Yeah,
Billy.
probably.
He was just, I think it's funny that I'm right about everything. This is another one of these things. I said they're all fucking, every one of these scumbag billionaires are fucking pedophiles. Now it's coming out. Look at them, all a bunch of pedophiles. Trump's a pedophile. Clinton's a pedophile. You know, it's sad that Obama and Bush are the two guys that have not been implicated in, you know, not in this.
I
Bush
don't know,
did
man.
Bush did kill a guy. I mean, his wife killed a guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he was a
I
cokehead.
mean, I don't know, man. It seems not to look too great for those dudes.
And you know, Biden's a pedophile. He's a weird old dude. He's just a weird guy.
Oh, we smell boys sometimes.
Yeah, he just like, I love his Switchblade story where he's getting in fucking knife fights or whatever. What the fuck are you? Get the fuck out of here, you old piece of shit.
I get all his speeches fucking.
They're all the same speech.
Confused.
Mumbly, you know, fucking know what he's saying.
Man.
Man's 100 goddamn years old. We need to stop
Wow.
electing people that are 1 billion years old.
Let's move on from the fucking.
I'm running for president. That's it.
Oh, great.
Running on a fucking everything.
I'll vote for you, buddy.
Sorry. Okay, continue. You're next. 3.
So number 3, I will say, which one do I want to mention next? I want to mention.
If you had it written down, you'd fucking know.
Who knows? So maybe I will deviate from that. From the order.
I deviated.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
No, I'll say Depeche Mode 101.
Oh, that's a good one.
From the Rose Bowl in Pasadena.
I know exactly which one you're talking about. Beautiful fucking. I love that album.
Oh yeah. You have, I mean,
a little bit of a chub.
That's a CD, DVD,
you
know, release right there. But you have 2 discs right there, and both of them are just jam-packed.
It was like every song ever too. They put every song they've ever played
up to like Music for the Masses. Yeah, for sure.
Like
it wasn't too much of the earlier kind of more kiddie.
They did mix a couple in there though.
A little bit. I mean, you had Just Can't Get Enough, and then
just for fun.
But yeah, you had most of, you know, Some Great Reward, Black Celebration, and Music for the Masses for sure, because I think it was that.
It was that tour, yeah. Which so good, you know, dude. It was like the encore was fucking 17 songs or something ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like
it was a whole other disc.
It was a whole other fucking thing.
Yeah, that was fucking great.
Amazing album. Amazing. Depeche Mode live is like,
I would
like
hope
seeing
that
fucking
they would
Jesus.
Dude, I would hope that fucking they would do like an anniversary performance for the Rose Bowl. Like, I think it's already been how many?
It's had
35
to be, it's maybe pushing 40 coming up here.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that they are. They're
still performing, dude.
Are they?
Yeah, I saw them in 2000.
Yeah, you saw what Coachella though. They make that big fucking money at Coachella is why.
I didn't see them at Coachella, but I know they perform Coachella.
I mean, that's why they do stuff like that, man. They throw buckets of money at those people to go to that stuff.
They do. They really do.
Like, here's a dump truck full of money. Play one
I saw
song
them at the Delta Machine tour. The Delta Machine tour.
Oh, okay. That wasn't too long ago, was it?
Too.
It was not.
That was like 2013.
Yeah, that was only 6-7 years ago.
I think. Dude, and that was at the Staples Center, you know, on the floor.
Yeah.
Fucking cool, man. It's really awesome.
Lovely.
So they still got it, dude. They still fucking got it. For sure.
They, you know, the thing about their music is the singing style, the playing style was never rough or aggressive enough that it couldn't be long. The longevity was there.
Yeah, and they kept their sound interesting.
Yeah,
they always kept their
and
sound
they mixed
really
it up, and they would mix it up when they thought they got stale, and do something a little different, and something a little bit interesting. They never, they never.
In the '90s, you got them going into the trip hop thing.
Yep,
dude,
which I think
Ultra.
I think worked for me.
It worked.
I hear a lot of shit. I hear a lot of shit about those albums, though. I know you do too.
No,
I
do, but
I
don't like Exciter. I don't care for Exciter that much. But
I like it. Okay, it grew on me. I listened to it like
okay.
a dozen times.
Okay.
Stuck in my brain now.
Playing the Angel, I think, is one of their best. It's, I mean, as far as their recent stuff.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't know about that. It's recent stuff. Yes.
I would say
not overall.
I would say from Ultra forward, I would say Playing the Angel is one of the top.
Okay, I'll buy that.
Yeah,
I'll buy that.
Yeah, for sure. Everyone knows that 101 performance. I still talk with you. If you're in LA, you talk with people who went to it. You know, you meet people, and
they'll also see
how many
homeless people shit regularly. So
Yeah. Luckily, I don't go out to the
So I mean,
streets that much.
you're
So
talking about Depeche Mode,
that's not here in Covina.
man's taking a shit on your fucking your foot, your wingtips.
Yeah. So that's my number 3.
Good goddamn, good choice.
Thank you.
My number 2, Dead Kennedys, live at the Def Club, 1979.
Oh, yes.
It is impossible to match the intensity of Jello and the Kennedys in the punk scene. They were fucking something else. I can't think of any other punk band. I can't think of any other punk band that had the intensity of the Dead Kennedys.
I would say I think they all brought something different, a different kind of intensity.
They were pure rage about everything. They were mad about everything. Absolutely. And they were loud, they were brain shaking. They were just earth shattering.
And Jello brought some of those monologues, right?
Yeah, he just hated it. He just was the government, he Alex Jones on stage.
Government.
And the rage and anger and confusion, it's sloppy and it's rotten, and it's amazing. Fucking love this album. Back to front is just pure.
I'm very happy we got a little bit more punk on there too.
I love punk. I'm a punk guy.
Me too,
what I mean?
Me too. I love punk.
But it's punk albums live often suck.
Yeah.
They're played in places that have terrible acoustics. They often don't have very good instruments. They are often not that great musicians themselves.
But that usually works out though for a punk live album.
A punk live show, a punk live album, it's different because you're not there. The thing that makes the punk show is being there. Like I remember I saw Dead Milkman not too long ago, had to be a couple of years ago. And
Thank you for getting me into them too.
Oh, I love the Dead Milkmen.
They're awesome.
I told you I met them and hung out with the one guy.
Yeah.
At Nick Cave. We're at Nick Cave and he's sitting in front of me.
Nice.
I'm thinking, I thought first off, he couldn't get better seats than this. I'm like, hey, you're the guy from the Dead Milkmen.
He had to join a queue like everybody else, right?
He's like, yeah, I'm the guy from the Dead Milkmen. I'm like, cool, nice to meet you. And we talked to him, and me and my girlfriend and my friend were all excited to meet the guy. And he was super nice, and he was with maybe his boyfriend or something. I don't know. None of my business.
That's awesome.
But they played in Pittsburgh one time, and Pittsburgh's a terrible fucking city to play anything. That's why no one comes here. And someone broke their fucking keyboard, pulled it off stage. And they flat out looked at the crowd and said, "We're not doing an encore. Goodbye." Fucking left. Wow. Fuck you, Pitt. They're already from Philadelphia, so they hate Pittsburgh already. That's the thing. Mm-hmm. One side of the state inexplicably hates the other side of the state for reasons that I can't possibly explain because I'm not from here. And they hate each other. And I've been in Philadelphia plenty. I love Philadelphia. I stayed there for a while. Pittsburgh now. Pittsburgh definitely sucks more, but I don't know why they hate each other. It's an 8-hour drive. We ignore it. But yeah, it was fucked up. I was mad. I'm like, I hate Pittsburgh. Why would you come here?
Just skip it. Skip Pittsburgh altogether.
Well, I saw the Attics at the same place. It's like an old church. It wasn't an old church. I don't think it's there anymore. And there was 4 arrests at an Attics show. Like, what are you guys doing? Why are you fighting at an Attics show? Of all places to fight at. And then they said, let's get some of Pittsburgh's beautiful women on stage. And they pulled the nastiest fucking women that I've ever seen in my entire life. Because people from Pittsburgh are fucking ugly. They're fucking ugly and they're disgusting. And they make me angry.
How long is the live album for the Dead Kennedys one?
It's not long. It's like 45 minutes.
No, I mean, it doesn't have to be. A question. What are some of the top songs or top performances on that one?
I don't know. I listened to it the other day. I'd have to go through it again because for me, there isn't one song that stands out. It's the flow of the whole performance, right? Yeah, because Jello starts out and he starts yelling, and then it's like, oh, I'm into something here, and I got sucked in. And I listened to it while I was writing something else, and I didn't even know I was listening to it. That's how I was typing to the fucking rhythm, and it just got into my brain.
Badass.
And then I was like, okay, I need to listen to that again.
Yeah, dude. I mean, as far as I'm gonna mention I'm gonna have an honorable mention right now because you mentioned
we're in fucking last 2 of them.
I want honorable mention. Have an honorable mention.
Good. Yeah,
I want fucking Bad Brains live at CBGBs.
Yeah. CBGB.
Yeah, CBGB.
CBGB.
Yeah, sorry.
Impossible to say that. Correct.
CBGB.
Yeah.
CBGB.
Fucking, I love Bad Brains. No,
I just had to mention, man, because I
that's a
fucking
good one.
Bad Brains is fucking
Bad
amazing.
Brains is
I
the
just
shit.
I just taught myself how to play Right Brigade on guitar yesterday too.
Did you really?
And I was, oh yeah, and my son, he's 3 years old. He was sitting right there, and I'm like shouting, Right Brigade. He's just like getting into
So
it.
now you can play that.
I taught him how to headbang today.
That you can play that and Smoke on the Water. Huh? Those are the two songs you can play.
Yeah, and not correctly either. I played on the E string.
That's punk, man. That's what punk is. It's 3 chords played incorrectly.
Mm-hmm.
He can do Stairway to Heaven, but he won't.
No Stairway to Heaven.
No Stairway. Why is that still funny to this day? That one joke from Wayne's World is still fucking hilarious. I reference No Stairway all the time, and people are like, "What are you? Fuck are you talking?"
Wayne's World is one of my favorite comedies.
I love Wayne's World.
There's too many funny parts.
It still holds up. I watched it not too long ago. It still holds up. Still funny.
I didn't know I don't know if this is worth mentioning. I'm sure it is, but I didn't know it was directed by a woman.
I didn't know that either. Good on her.
Yeah. And she kind of got fucked in the film business.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah.
Fate, fucking film business for women.
I saw some post about it today, and
that sucks. You hear about all these super talented women, and they want to, you're creative and you want to get into you love movies, you want to get in movies, and then you're fucked.
And she was a documentary filmmaker.
A documentarian.
Documentarian, yes. Yeah. And she did punk documentaries, dude.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, she did one that, like, a really famous one that I know I've seen. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Do you remember the name of any punk documentaries off the top of your head?
No. No, I fucking
well, there's a few. If I can find the post, I'll send it to you. I wish I can remember the name, but if you guys search the director of Wayne's World,
whose name we don't know.
Fine, yeah. Whose name? Search director of Wayne's World.
If you look up Wayne's World, then look up the director, and then look up what she did, you'll find some punk documentaries.
Hey, you have the laptop. You have the computer. You have to be Jamie every time we need information.
I'm not Data over here. Fuck you. Figure out your own shit. Fucking garbage can.
We're on number 2. Cool. Portishead, Roseland Live, New York City. That's another album where I listen to that way more than the studio album.
Yeah.
So anytime I feel like listening to Portishead, I go to that one and I start from the very beginning. It starts off with Humming, and I think ends with, I forgot what it ends with, but every version I hear on that live performance is better than the studio performance.
What's better about it, do you think?
I like the sound, the live. They have a live orchestra playing with them. It's loud. I don't know. There's something very loud about the performance, in a good way. I don't know if that makes sense, but if you guys were to listen to it, and I'm sure you would understand what I mean.
I'm not a big Portishead fan. I'm not opposed to them. No. I just don't listen to them a lot.
Do you like trip hop at all? Or
yeah, I like Portishead. I just don't listen to them. Like, they don't come up for me a lot. Like, I have the albums. I just don't. I don't know.
They're worth exploring for sure. Yeah. Getting back into if you can. Yeah, man, very soulful performances on that. Beth Gibbons, I believe that's her name, Beth Gibbons. I think. Amazing singer, beautiful vocals on that. Just heartbreaking vocals. If you were, there's obviously a video with that too, but hearing that, I used to listen to that before I would go to sleep sometimes.
Oh, that's cool.
Or while I was trying to go to sleep, it was like a lullaby for me almost. But
you're not allowed to say trip hop anymore for the rest of the show.
Why?
You've exhausted the amount of times you said trip hop today.
Trip hop.
See, now this is gonna get flagged. I'm gonna take it down.
I love trip hop. It was my number 5 genre on my 2021 Wrapped on Spotify.
I don't participate in that kind of bullshit. I don't do that kind of stuff.
Of course you don't.
I had someone ask me. It was Iggy Pop Peaks, whatever the fuck his name was, and they were like, "You get your Wrapped?" I said, "What the fuck is a Wrapped?" They're like, "Your Spotify." I don't do that kind of shit.
So am I an idiot when I fucking send you Spotify shit? Or do you have Spotify?
I don't have a Spotify. No, I don't
Okay.
use it.
So
I mean, I
I'll never
do have a
send you anything
Spotify.
with Spotify.
No, because I can still go to it and get the songs. Like I can still use it. I have one.
Okay.
I just don't use it.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
You still listen to stuff on Spotify if you don't regularly use Spotify. It's fine. It's not like an exclusive club or something. You know what
You
I mean?
sure, man?
Yeah. You send me stuff and I'm like, I can listen to it on Spotify. And then when I'm done, I just close Spotify. You see, it's a whole fucking thing. I'm
We'll
just
send
not,
you a Napster link.
I'm not participating in this kind of
We'll send you
nonsense.
a Napster download file.
I torrent everything. So I do all of my music is torrented. Everything I've ever torrented. Fucking it's ridiculous. Yeah,
It was pretty silly. I mean the whole wrapped thing. I mean it always has been silly, but it's fun.
I think it's perfectly fine. It's fun. I can't get myself into I hate everything, so I don't want to do it.
Dude, I mean, did you see the what percentage I was in for Nick Cave listeners?
It was like 0.009 or something. Like
Point
you listen to more,
005.
yeah, you listen to more Nick Cave than Nick Cave has ever fucking listened to.
Nick Cave was on my list twice of top 5 artists because there's Nick Cave in the Bad Seeds and then Nick Cave, and he was on 1 and 2.
And then there was Grinder Man, and then
no, I remember the top 5. It was Bad Seeds, and then Nick Cave, and then Einstürze Neubauten. No, 9 Inch Nails, and then Einstürze Neubauten, which is still Bad Seeds affiliated.
I don't want people to know what I listen to when I'm alone at night in the darkness.
Are you afraid people will hold that against you somehow?
I don't know. Yes, why not? I don't like people having a lot of information about me. You know that. You've talked to me. I'll tell you all this weird shit, but I don't like people knowing anything real about me. Like, I'll tell you gross stuff about my life, like taint scars and time I stuck a pencil in my fucking urethra. But I'm not going to tell you any stuff that I care about.
You're not going to tell me what breaks your heart, what makes you cry?
No, fuck you. That's stupid.
Well, I want to talk about that stuff sometime. I want to talk about our feelings.
This is not what this show. This is officially.
We'll never do episode.
That. We talked about our feelings. We talked about being depressed.
No, I'm kidding.
Man feelings. I believe we talked about. I don't want to talk about a bunch of this shit. I just don't.
Which we'll for sure talk.
I don't like people having arbitrary information about me for some reason. I used to have a thing. There was an old site that used to track all your music. Do you know what it was? FM, something FM. Radio FM or something like that. So I used to have it was like a radio FM or something like that. And it would track all your music that you play and tell your friends what you. So I would leave my music on mute all day long, and so it would track everything playing, but it wasn't stuff I was listening to. And my friend was like, "Why do you have it then?" And I said, "You guys wanted me to have it, so I did it." He's like, "Well, we want to know what you're listening to." I said, "I don't want you to fucking know what I'm listening to. Fuck you guys. You get this thing. It's just gonna play 90 days of music over and over and over again. And I'll open another tab."
You know, there's some poor schmuck out there who has, because I think Spotify when I used to have Facebook, I remember Spotify had a setting where it would show you it would display what you're listening to on Facebook, I think.
Yeah.
And I get in my head and that there's some fucking schmuck, some silly fucking poor fuck out there who just restricted everything he was listening to because he had that setting on and wanted to seem like the coolest guy ever.
He didn't want to be embarrassed. He was like, "Oh, I can listen." But it's just going back to, it's one of those things. Like, I remember one time, I get this all the time. People will call me up and they're like, "What are you doing?" And I said, "What the fuck is it to you? What I'm doing?" And they'll go,
"Do you know these people well?"
I was one specific time. My friend was like, "What are you doing?" I said, "What the fuck is it to you?" He said, "We're supposed to hang out today. I wanted to know if you were still free." And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm free.
That's like the dropper on her head thing with the Dragon Ball.
I just don't like answering. I don't like answering questions. Don't ask me a bunch of fucking questions. My late wife or whatever you want to call her, I don't know what to say about that. I feel awkward. You know what I mean? So she used to
call her wherever you feel comfortable.
She'd call me, and I'd pick up the phone, and the first thing she would say, "Have I told you this?" She would go, "What are you doing?" What are you doing?
Yeah, and then you would start to quiver.
Sweat. Before I get to one, I was talking about, there's a restaurant in town. My mom went there the other day, and it's a terrible restaurant. Like, they're just shitty service. And I was there one day, and this waitress blew up my spot for no reason, like unintentionally. So I'm in there with my mom. This was a couple of years ago, and my wife, and we sit down, and the waitress goes, she doesn't know who any of us are. I've wait, I've talked to her a couple times. I've been there drinking. And she goes, I know what you're having to drink, blah, 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 blah. Just me, points me out, says it. Now, you know where this is going. You know where this is going, right?
Oh, yeah.
I felt the look before I saw it. I felt it.
Mm-hmm.
I said, why? I looked at this bitch. I was not fooling around with her. I didn't know anything about her. She didn't even get my drink right. She was incorrect.
So it makes it even worse.
So it makes it even worse that she was like, why would you do that to somebody? Why would you do that? And I was like, I looked and she was like,
you think it was intentional?
I don't know, man. She fucking almost got me in some trouble for no reason.
Man, I can't stand people who do that.
Don't fucking do that shit. I always told all my servers, said if you see someone in here twice, pretend like you never fucking saw them if it was someone else. You don't know the relationship. Don't blow up anybody's spot. It's none of our fucking business. And they'll tip you better if they know you're being discreet. There was one girl that saw this guy and he was with a girl, and they came in later with a different girl like another day, and she's like, oh, blah, 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 where's blank? And he was like, and I'm like, why would you say that? Don't fucking blow his spot up. It's none of our business. You don't know shit. Never saw you before. Hello.
God damn.
A
lot of those, they have to know what they're fucking doing, I'm sure.
Some people were just like being nice, but like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, yeah. Some people take being nice the wrong way.
Yeah, I think you're being nice the wrong way, you piece of shit.
hey, come on.
All right, my number one. If we're doing albums, I fucking forgot. This one was an easy one for me. What?
Wait.
You did too.
Oh, yeah, never mind.
Portishead.
Yes.
Right?
Go on.
My favorite live album of all time, Lou Reed, Animal Serenade, 2003.
Yeah, that's a good one, dude.
Front to back.
Oh, man.
It's a greatest hits kind of thing. But he's incredible. And you know how a lot of these albums, I'll praise him for, I didn't really praise them, but they sound the same as they do live as they do on the radio. You know what I mean? And that's a positive thing sometimes. Lou Reed sounds totally different here in every song. Every song is a different hit, and he sounds worse, and it's great because he sounds honest, and you hear the voice breaks. You can hear his emotion and his honesty. It's a beautiful album. It's Lou Reed out there being Lou Reed, being a genius. And I come back. This is Lou Reed album I come back to. This, and I don't know. I have to think about that. Not Metal Machine Music, that's for damn sure. But it's the best version of Street Hassle, the best version of Men of Good Fortune, the best version of How Do You Think It Feels. Some others open to some debate. He does The Raven on it real briefly. It's a fucking great album.
Hell yeah. And what you mentioned too is something that I wanted to bring up and reiterate on add on to what I mentioned about the vocal delivery being different. It doesn't have to, be sung better, even if it's more flawed, it's about the passion that goes into it, and the feeling and honesty and rawness that goes into it too.
I agree 100%. And this is a perfect example of that because Lou Reed never had a good voice. He sounds like an old Jew whenever he was a young Jew. You know what I mean? Like he never sounded good, and he sounds terrible, and it's beautiful.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah. Dude, so you've heard this one, Animal Serenade?
Yeah, I've heard. I tried to dive into Lou Reed. I think like 2 or 3 years ago, and I remember that one. It stood out. Yeah. Because I listened to a lot of the studio stuff first, and I do recall that live one being pretty different, but I liked it a lot.
I wanted to put a Pogues song album because I love the Pogues. I never talked about them, but Shane fucking voice is so terrible that it's impossible to hear anything he's fucking saying live.
Yeah.
Oh, I fucking knew. I'm like, can't understand you.
Yep.
He's hard enough to hear on the studio albums, and the live ones are twice as bad.
And even I think like with a lot of interviews, he's really fucked up.
Never. And he has that super, he's got no fucking teeth, and he's got a super thick Irish accent, and he's fucked up, and he's fighting with Marky Smith, or he's fighting with Nick Cave, or he's fucking fighting with somebody.
Oh man. Yeah, dude. I remember you told me to look into those stories about.
Aren't they great? Him and Marky Smith and Lou and Nick Cave.
That's the stuff I love to read.
Just
man.
Cunts.
I love to hear about that.
Nick Cave is picking fights with those two for like making those two fight for some reason, like for no reason.
They become like caricatures as you're like reading these stories, and so it's so funny.
Like, and it's not like Marky Smith is hard to get worked up. Man's fucking
No,
mad
he's
about
already
it.
always worked up,
Yeah,
right? It was always worked
I
up.
remember when John Peel died, the Peel Sessions guy, and
Mhm.
it was him, and he was on some show with some other guy, and he said, "What'd you think about John Peel?" And Marcus Smith goes, "He was a cunt." And he goes, "Well, didn't he help you a lot out in your career?" And he said, "Yeah, he helped me a lot, and he was a cunt." Like, that's it.
Okay.
Or he was whipping bottles at the fucking what's that shitty band? Mumford and Sons.
Oh yeah.
He goes, "I don't care whose sons they are."
I think of there was another. Didn't one of the Oasis dudes like talk major shit about Mumford
Yeah.
and
Oh,
Sons?
and he read on the fucking. Well, here's the thing about the Fall. And here's the thing that about the Fall is every Fall album is a totally different band because Marky Smith runs the entire band off after every album.
Really?
He's been married like 3 times, and 3 times has there been a woman on the album, and 3 times has there been a different woman. Like you'll look at like who's on. Of course, some people stick around, but you'll look at who's on each album, and it's like Marky Smith, different people, different people, different people, different people, because he's such a cunt. Like I remember him he fucking hated Morrissey and all this other. He just like he hated everything. Marky Smith is someone I can get behind musically because he fucking hated everything, and he didn't even like music that much.
How did he die?
I don't know, heart attack or cancer or something. It wasn't that long ago. 6 or 7 years. I forget. Anger, rage, choked on his own rage. Fucking died. All right, what's your number one?
I need to dig more into the Fall for
Dude,
sure.
the Fall are incredibly hard to get into. I've had people that I put
I
the
like
Fall.
what I've heard though.
I have people that I put the Fall and they're like, what is this? What is this? I'm like, it's the Fall, and they're like, nope, not happening, buddy.
I like it, man. I mean, I know it's different.
They're just so unusual. Like if you put on like Who Makes the Nazis or something, people are gonna be like, because the opening scene, and it's like a Primus song, and then he starts these vocals that are just like a crazy person. You know what I mean?
Dude, in my office and my work, I'll put on music sometimes, and I'll fucking put on some ridiculous shit. Now I'm getting the eyebrows raised.
People they don't know what to make of it. They look at you like, then they go and they go home and they tell their wife or their husband or their whatever fucking kids.
Dude, no, I'm putting
listening to some satanic music.
Fucking listen to Einsters and Neubauten. I'm putting on Rammstein. I'm putting on all this. I'm putting on Gogol Bordello.
I like Gogol Bordello.
I love Gogol Bordello. Yeah. So good.
Put on some Fall and see what they think, because they'll look at you like a cock. It's people get offended because it's fucking weird. You didn't put on some.
Now it doesn't phase them. So
it's just
all the weird shit I play.
Nothing.
Like, I think they like it now. I think they
put
like
on nothing. You put on nothing but Butthole Surfers from now on.
But they have a lot. They have Cave, dude.
They have a live album that I almost put on here, but I didn't.
The Butthole Surfers are great. So good.
Yeah, I wouldn't know that. I wouldn't call them great. They are certainly a band that I enjoy.
They were awesome for what they were. I love them
for what they were. Is there it is.
Stoner, weird.
What is it? The worms coming out of their penises, the Chinese man's penises. And what the fuck they were talking about? You know what I'm talking about? When they're all in bed.
No, I don't know.
They did this MTV interview and they're all in bed with Domino's Pizza, and one of the guys is wearing a bra, and the main guy's talking about Chinese guys who pull worms out of their penises.
I don't remember.
And it's just this.
Is this like a Kennedy interview?
No, I don't even see who's interviewing them. It's just them talking. Okay. It's not like they're in bed. They're in a bed in a hotel room with Domino's Pizza, and none of them are clothed. They have shorts on, except for one guy's wearing a bra. Mm-hmm. And it's about Chinese people and these Chinese guys that had worms that came out of their penises.
Man, speaking about weirdos, dude, I saw this really entertaining video of Bjork, like talking about her TV and all that. I can't.
Aren't you surprised that Bjork has a TV? Because I am.
I don't think there's much from Bjork that surprises me though.
Yeah, remember when she beat the fuck out of that reporter?
Oh yeah,
beat the fuck out of that.
Yeah, dude. I think she explained that though. I think she explained that.
She didn't explain it. Someone was in her bullshit. Bitch was in my shit. Yeah. Didn't explain herself. Yeah.
There you go. I love Bjork.
Bjork can do no wrong in my eyes.
Yeah. So your number one.
That's my number one.
A good one.
Yeah. What's yours? Do you remember? Do you remember what your number one is?
My number one?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is again a kind of another no order thing, but my number one will be it's a strange one to have on the list, I think, but Pink Floyd Pulse.
Hmm.
Are you
It's a good album.
familiar with that?
I used to be a huge Pink Floyd fan when I was like in high school.
I'm not really a big, like
I'm
a
not,
huge
no.
Pink Floyd fan,
I
but
was like, they were my introduction to like different kinds of stuff. So probably like ninth or 10th grade, I was really into Pink Floyd. So
oh
I'm
yeah, I
familiar.
mean
Yeah.
it's an essential phase,
Yeah, you go
it's a
through it
very
at some
essential
point. Yeah.
phase. Yeah,
Yeah.
but that album in particular, I mean, first of all, kind of love that Roger Waters isn't on it.
You know what? Yes, I do not like Roger Waters. I'm with
I'm
you.
sorry.
I like David Gilmour's solo stuff.
I love David
There's No
Gilmour's
Way
solo
Out of Here
stuff.
is just a
And
song I can listen to over and over again. It's boring,
dude,
but it's
he's
fun.
one of those guitar players. Gilmour, his vote, his beautiful singing voice. I love his singing
He's a
voice,
little bit boring. He's a little bit boring,
He
but I
can
like
be a
him.
little bit boring. I get it, but I still like him.
Yeah. He's like, you don't want to
But
listen to him when you're driving.
you might fall asleep.
Yeah,
It might be serenading. But his guitar playing, dude, that's the guitar playing that kind of tears your heart out. Man. Beautiful guitar playing.
It's very soulful. He got a lot of heart in there. Yeah.
And and something with live music that I personally really love. I love lots of reverb, lots of rich deepness in the sound, and that live album had a lot of that.
It's a goddamn good album. I mean, it really is. Objectively, I'm not a huge Pink Floyd fan, but that's for a live album for them. Yeah, that's not that they ever did a bad live album, for God's sakes.
No, I mean, it starts off with all of the Shine On You Crazy Diamond.
All 48 parts of it.
Yeah. Yep. And then it goes into one of the Syd Barrett tracks, Astronomy to Mind.
I love Syd Barrett. I actually like Syd Barrett quite a bit.
I know a lot of people don't. I mean, I have to be in the mood for him. Astronomy to Mind, I can listen to any
He's
time.
just a weird, I mean, like, but he wanted to do different shit. Like, he didn't want to do shitty rock. Yeah. He wanted to be a different cat.
I know, I totally get and respect it. But I mean, I think Pulse, it was also a good way to shine
On You Crazy Diamonds.
really was a really good way to get people into some of the more maybe obscure Pink Floyd tracks.
Okay.
I mean, obscure in the way that a lot of people didn't like them. I think songs like High Hopes in particular.
I like that song.
I love that song.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of people talk shit about that. I don't know. So, but
interesting choice.
It is an interesting choice. It's not, like I said, mine is always going to be no order. So
you don't fucking write any of it down.
No, I mean, I don't like putting my stuff in an order because I have to think about why it's going above or past this other thing.
This is an excuse for you to be lazy.
Fuck you. But maybe you're right.
Good choice. Good albums. Good albums for both of us. And excellent choices.
I think so.
Some stuff I didn't expect from either of us in particular.
Yeah.
Of course, now I expect
some
Metallica
stuff I'm going to check out from yours for sure.
Yeah, now I expect. I'm gonna re-give Portishead a listen here. I had a friend who just fucking loved Portishead. Everything he had, like Portishead clothes, and he had a Portishead tattoo, and he had I think that burnt me. I think it burnt me out because he was just like listening to it all the time. One of those things. Maybe, like I heard it all the time. I'm like, I get it, dude. Shut the fuck up.
That's probably how my coworkers feel about Nick Cave now.
Everybody loves Nick Cave. The thing is, you could put on 10 different Nick Cave songs, they would sound 10 different songs.
Hey, you want to hear how I tortured The Office this morning?
Did you fart?
I played all of Skeleton Tree.
Skeleton Tree is a good fucking album. It's just amazing. Depressing.
It's
just fucking depressing.
No, I was just in because I had to go in super early this morning. I had to go in at 4 a.m. this morning.
That's bullshit.
There
was not a time people are up.
I know.
I was up, but I hadn't slept.
Oh yeah, you're just fucking a glutton for punishment. So you're just.
I'm up. You've noticed that I respond to anybody's messages. There's no time in between.
Yep. I think I remember one night I was talk about it another time. Anyway, I played all Skeleton Tree this morning because I was just in like a really calm, peaceful mood.
That's the album you picked for calm, peaceful mood. Skeleton Tree.
Yeah, it's a very calm album. I mean,
depressing album.
It doesn't have to be happy.
But no, I think
you know what? I mean, how I think it's really appropriate that it ends on the song Skeleton Tree.
Oh yeah,
How fucking uplifting does that song sound and
it's
feel?
yeah, yeah. I'll agree with that.
You got to
It's
say that.
it it's a strange album because it doesn't go
Mhm.
like the crescendo. It goes like this and then just goes up towards the end. You know
Because
what I
yeah,
mean?
I
Yeah,
mean that's the only
it's quite it's a beautiful album. I mean,
yeah.
it's I the first listening to it, I didn't love it. And I think with every new Nick Cave album, I go through the stages of like grief with it. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't know if
Yeah.
I like this. And then I'm like, I really like this. I'm like, I love it. It's my favorite album. Then I'm like, it's okay.
Were you that way with because I know your favorite's Dig. Were you that way with
Yeah,
Stick
I
versus
didn't
Dig?
like Dig at first. I didn't like Dig
Oh
the first
shit,
time I
okay.
heard it. I was like, I don't like this. This is too poppy. Or I didn't. My
It grew on me. It grew on me for sure. That's
Yeah,
another one that I'm like,
you've
I
got
don't
to
know about
like.
this
I
one.
had to like let it play one time when I was in the car or something like that, and I was just driving. And I'm like, okay, oh, okay, you're doing
Dude,
something here. You're doing.
one it, I didn't think that that's what I played after Skeleton Tree. I played
Yeah,
Dig
what a
Lazarus Dig
dynamic
after.
there for Dig
Yeah, you
after
had to
that.
lift it up somehow. You can't just keep
Yeah,
it low.
Dig's
Okay,
through and through. Dig is probably like it's just a consistently up. It's not upbeat, but it's a consistently up album.
yeah, it's really good. I said before that I read some comment somewhere where someone called it his Nick Cave's disco album. I still
A
think that's
little
so
bit.
valid.
Did you ever hear him do
I get it. You know, I get what they mean.
when he did Disco 2000?
Oh, the Pulp song?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
It's the
heard that. I
dirt.
thought that
He
was
did
really
the
awesome.
dirtiest version of that song I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah.
Because it's just everything Nick Cave does has a like a layer of filth on it that you
Oh yeah,
can't get
for
away
sure.
from.
Fucking one of my favorites is his cover of Mac the Knife,
Oh, I love that. I love that song.
dude. And I think what's the video? Have you seen the video of him of the music video for it? Right?
Yeah,
Is it's kind of like really grainy from it's from
yeah.
some movie. It looks like
I
I don't
forget what
even
it's
know.
from. I used to. He actually used to know, and I don't remember off the top of my head.
It's whatever that is. I want to see it.
Yeah,
I love how fucking there's like a certain bit of like amount of jealousy I feel about artists and having their freedom to perform their eccentricities on stage and everything.
he's
And
the right
oh
guy for
man,
it.
dude, you see that in that Mac the
Yeah.
Knife video, and
Oh
I'm like,
yeah.
I want to fucking just fucking throw my arms around just like the way he is and just what the attitude he has.
If
So
you're,
great.
you're
Love
looking for
that.
someone that has attitude on stage, it's definitely Henry Cave. When he
It's
grabbed
something
the
to be studied.
what did Henry
Yeah.
Rollins say? He grabbed the girls by their hair and they were in their wedding dresses and he just slap them, and you know what I mean. And
Yeah.
you're not getting one
Hell
over on
yeah.
him. When I was at the show and saw him, um, there was this like real thoughty girl in the front dressed as like an Indian war chief or something. I don't know, but like a slutty Indian war chief. And
Okay.
right behind her was a heavier set girl. You know what I mean? And Nick Cave is singing, and he reaches over the thoughty girl and puts his hand on the heavier set girls and like singing right to her. And I'm like, you know, man, that was
Hell
some
yeah.
integrity. I don't know why.
That's fucking
I
cool.
really got a kick out of that. Like shoving in that girl's fucking face.
Hell yeah, because she probably thought she was gonna,
She was like up front, like I don't even think she listened to the music. She probably listened to the music, but obviously,
maybe.
but she just like was trying to get his attention, and he was just like, you can tell he intentionally did it too. He intentionally did it just to fuck with
Oh
her.
yeah.
It's
I love that.
very Nick Cave. And then
And I'm gonna
I'm sorry, go ahead.
go ahead.
Okay,
No,
guy was taking pictures of him, and he leaned over, and the guy took a picture right in his fucking face, and he smacks the guy's camera out of his fucking hands. And he goes, "Take another
nice.
fucking picture of me. Take another fucking picture." I'm like, right in the dude's face. Why would you take a picture out of his fucking face, man? It's Nick
No, yeah,
Cave.
you don't show some
And
fucking respect.
he's
Dude.
100 feet tall. His legs are as big as that. You know what I mean? Like he's so lanky. He just giraffes over you.
Just recently, I watched I rewatched 20,000 Days and also
One
One More
more
Time
feeling.
Feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I love how in 20,000 Days the scene with Kylie Minogue. I say scene because a lot of that is
Scripted,
like fiction, scripted and stuff, but it's really cool though.
It's scripted with like they're telling a true story, but they're telling it with scripted events.
Yes, exactly.
So let's not say that it's scripted stuff. It's them. They're telling the truth, but just in scripted ways.
Yeah. But I love how she calls him a tree. Pretty much, he reminded her of a tree, and I thought that's appropriate.
They banged, right? They definitely banged those two.
I think I recall that they dated, I think.
Yeah, I think
But I
so
could be
too.
wrong. I don't know.
She did an MTV interview with him. I don't know if you ever saw it, and he's just not fucking having it.
Oh
She
yeah,
and she's there, and
I think
she's,
there were some
you
live
know,
performances
she's
too, right?
Kylie, yeah, and she's Kylie, and she's smiling, and she's like giving the interviews, and she's flirting, and the guy's like, "What about you, Nick?" Nick, and he's like, "I don't know what you're talking about. No, no."
There's some great interviews with him in the '90s
Oh,
when he was like pretty kind of strung out, you know.
he just did not. He did not like. He doesn't like do interviews. He doesn't want to do them. I don't want to do them.
You know
He's
what's
like,
really funny? I love the one with the where the two of the girls from L7 are interviewing him and
yep,
Mick at backstage at like Lollapalooza, I think.
yeah,
Oh,
it,
dude, and but they're friends, so like they're
yeah.
having fun with each other, and
It
he's
was
like
still he
talking
was
shit to
yeah.
them, and
He was giving him
it's
grief though.
great.
He was giving him the business.
You know, you guys might look, better if you have some. We might get along better if you wear some makeup and wear some beautiful dresses. And
You are doing Crocodile Dundee, sir.
he's Australian.
He doesn't sound like that.
I'm fuck you. I'm doing an accent.
Speaking of Kylie Minogue, I'm so for January for my reviews on my other channel. Check out the Total McKay reviews. I did doing video game movies, and I just watched Street Fighter with Jean-Claude Van Damme, and you know who is Cammy in that? Is Kylie Minogue.
I just put the face to it, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah, she is. And the problem is that she is like fucking 5 foot tall, and it does not work for her.
And dude, I when I first saw the movie as a kid, I had a crush on Cammy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have minded seeing Kylie in the Cammy outfit. You know,
that's so funny that
they did not put her in it.
Dude.
There's a scene where she's got a bazooka, and I don't know what happened with the bazooka, but it looks like she's gonna fucking fall over.
Dude, I wish I still had these. I wish I still had this. I had the Street Fighter, the movie.
The game?
Cards. No. We talked about that, but no, I also, you're reminding me now, I had trading cards.
Oh yeah.
For the Street Fighter movie.
It was such a bad fucking, it was fun. It was the Raul Julia show.
Hey, I had a really cool holographic Jean-Claude Van Damme one where it's him jumping over a railing and he's putting his arm down. He looks like Spider-Man is doing it.
I like that Jean-Claude Van Damme is playing an American colonel.
That's so fucking strange.
In the movie, he's like a United Nations colonel, so it's fine, but like,
yeah,
the character guy is an American colonel. And when I think of American colonels, I definitely think of French guys.
What's the actor's name who did Bison?
Raul Julia. He was Gomez.
Yeah, he was.
That was his last movie.
Yeah.
He was brilliant.
I would have loved for that guy to still be alive.
He was brilliant in it. Brilliant. He's the best part about it. He's just chewing on the scenery, and he's making these big speeches, and none of it make any fucking sense because the plot doesn't make any fucking sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I said this last time when the Asian girl Chun Li's talking to him, and she's like, "You killed my father. You ruined my village." And he's like, "I don't remember." He's like, "For you, when M. Bison came to your village, it was the greatest day of your life. For me, it was Tuesday." I'm like, that's hard. You went hard on it.
Nice.
We had Kylie Minogue, and I'm like, "Is that Kylie Minogue?" And she's just so little. And Jean-Claude Van Damme's a big dude. She's so little, and like she was totally non-effective in any fighting.
No, not at all.
Even close to being it, because you punch her and she'd be dead. Like
the way that fucking movie ends too, with them all the fucking people just posing.
They're posing
at the explosion.
And the guy who plays Blanca looks like Rocky Dennis painted green.
Oh yeah.
Rocky Dennis, the mask kid, you know?
Yeah, no, I know who you're talking about.
I'm like, why do you look like that? It's not what Blanca is like, a big Brazilian guy.
He didn't have any cool moment in that at all.
No, he looks like a
Blanca
fucking
was wasted in that.
Blanca was awesome in the game.
Fucking Dawson was wasted in that too.
Yeah, he didn't fucking stretch at all. I didn't see that motherfucker stretch one time. He was in handcuffs the whole time.
That was disappointing. And another disappointing thing in that was the Ryu Shoryuken. Do you remember what he did in that?
Yeah, he put his arm up and spun. It made a little noise too.
Yeah.
He did there was a scene where he does the fire when he does the fireball too, and you just hear. Oh yeah. I'm like, what the fuck is that? What are you talking about? So no. And it wasn't the worst movie I watched for the month either. So I'm excited for everyone to listen to the crap I've crapped out.
Oh man.
So we're gonna skip the conversations about live albums. I think we talked pretty thoroughly about live albums. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
sure.
Who do you think will win in a fight, Willem Dafoe or John Malkovich?
Well, good question.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Willem Dafoe might be a little
I think Willem
crazier.
Dafoe might win. I think John Malkovich is a lot bigger. I get the
Yes.
feeling that he's a lot bigger.
Yes.
Doesn't mean anything, but it
I think
help.
Malkovich would be more pissed off,
Mhm.
but Defoe would be more fucking like crazy.
Yeah.
Fucking,
I don't know. Malkovich gets his hands on you. I think it might be over.
he might get
Like that bunny
of Mice and Men strength.
Yeah, like that bunny again. We talk comes up of mice. The version of Mice and Men with John Malkovich comes up a lot in this fucking podcast.
Wow, why did we?
Comes
Sorry,
up like
because we had a Sherilyn
Gary
Fenn in it.
Sinise. Yeah, we were talking about Gary Sinise one time, and for some reason, and it's just a weird thing. That it's a movie that no one liked and is not very good, and is not even Malkovich's top 5. I wouldn't even say, and it comes up a lot. Yeah. So you're saying Defoe? I think Defoe too. What are you doing? I can't hear you. Okay, I can hear you now. Can you hear me? You cocksucker. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Sibilance. This is just dead air. Look at this cocksucker. He's fucking jacking around. Doing stupid shit. Oh, he's gone. By the way, check out my other channel, The Tono Makaya on YouTube.
Sorry, 1 second.
Oh, he's back. I do a comic show on Thursday, and I do a movie or TV review show on Wednesday. Yeah, so you should go there, subscribe. Also subscribe to this. Do that as well. Less dirty stuff on there, less butt eating. But I think getting your butt eaten, it's good. It feels good if you wipe properly and you're clean. I use those man wipe things to help myself out.
I just came back and I hear man wipes.
I had to make up for space. I'm talking about cleaning my asshole. I don't know what the fuck was
my thing just crapped out. It's the audio, just the Bluetooth just went away. I'm sorry.
That's fucking.
I don't know what happened.
Who's this blue? Who's this Bluetooth? You think? Huh?
I don't fucking know. You're an asshole.
That's what I was talking about. Assholes. There's nothing I can fucking talk about.
So when were you talking about Mice and Men?
We talk about it too much.
Okay, so we should probably put it right to that.
It's like me talking about the Phantom 2040. We've done 5 episodes. I've talked about it 5 times. And I will continue until I find they don't fucking. I had to get the quality of episodes that I have are like 3rd generation VHS quality. I would like better version quality of a Phantom 2040, and they don't sell it. They don't sell it or make it. They don't sell it or make it.
Yeah.
I can hear a reverb of me.
Wait, sorry, hold on.
What are you doing?
My fucking shit's working.
Is it good? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
Sorry.
Talk about some other.
Rewind 30 seconds.
I know. I was just ranting about Phantom 2040. It doesn't fucking matter what I'm saying here.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Totally unimportant. Totally, So I was talking to somebody, I don't fucking know, about things that so we're all nerds in this community. We're all a bunch of pieces of shit. Twin Peaks is a pretty nerdy thing to like, I would say.
Yeah, I think so.
But we all have our limits of nerdiness. Like I was talking about, I did a review of Rick and Morty versus Dungeons and Dragons, which is a comic. And I don't like Dungeons and Dragons. I will not play Dungeons and Dragons. And I don't really have any reason why, except for when I was growing up, all people who played Dungeons and Dragons were like scummy, gross people. You know what I mean?
I didn't grow up around them, so I don't know.
There was like a group of kids that I went to high school with that, like they played it and they were like they looked like they smelled bad. And the one kid, I cut his ponytail off in 9th grade. And he never let me forget about it. He never let me live it down, which I was fine with. I didn't give a fuck about that guy. Fuck him. Dude, I treated high school like it was a fucking prison. 9th grade, I would do any horrible thing I could think of to fucking get through the day. And everyone else was telling me. Told you, the second day I was there, I stabbed a kid in the face with a fork. He was sitting in my fucking seat.
Yeah.
Derek Myers was sitting. Derek Myers, you fucking piece of shit. I'll take out your other fucking eye. All right. So get the fuck out of my seat. No, in the fucking eye. And it continued on for the remainder of it. So I hated those guys, but there's nothing wrong with those guys. I have nothing opposed. I play Fallout and stuff, like it's just as nerdy. And I find that a lot of Twin Peaks people, anime is their limit. Like they won't watch anime.
Oh, I would if I had the time.
But if you've seen this, they're like, oh, anime. I don't know. They're kind of weird.
No, I haven't really seen that.
Well, you don't fucking pay attention to what's going on. Every time I see your stuff, it's all smiles and happy, and like, oh, I hope everybody's having a good day.
Because I don't want to fucking do much else in there except for post, and I'm good with just that, man. And show some funny jokes here and there, and some art.
Because he's high, that's why he's a hippie, dirty, filthy hippie.
Hey, man.
But so what's your limit? What is your nerd limit? What is something that you look at that's too nerdy? Like you're just like, that's a little too much. It's a little too
probably D&D.
Yeah.
Right?
You think, it's just like, but there's nothing that I can't give you a reason why.
Oh no, I can't give you a valid reason either. And I think maybe if I was like forced into the situation with like,
it's probably fun.
Like, yeah.
It's probably fun.
If I was playing with cool people, man, I'm sure I'd like it. Yeah.
This is going to devolve into me, you, Coral, and someone else playing D&D.
Oh no.
And I'm going to fucking hate it. As long as I'm not any sort of dungeon master, because I will just go crazy with it. You can't make me.
You're gonna.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Taste that power. I don't know what you're gonna do.
The master of the dungeon.
Chaotic evil.
Be chased by a rape hungry bear.
Where do you think I fall on that scale? The chaotic evil.
I'd say you're gay and stupid. So like middle left.
Oh man. Yeah, gay and stupid sounds about right.
Not homosexual, of course. We just mean that we mean gay in a derogatory way. Like a piece of shit, not like a gay person.
Happy because I'm goth and I'm not allowed to be happy.
I'm happy.
So that's a derogatory.
I would say, I don't know, chaotic neutral is what you'd be. Because you're really? Fucking, you got nothing. Neutral, chaotic. That's it. You're not lawful.
Like right dead
you're
in the
not,
center.
You're right in the fucking, yeah. Yeah, it's chaotic, but it's fine.
I want to be chaotic good. I want to fall like on the good.
You don't do enough to be good. You're lazy. You're neutral. Okay. The dark cloud of neutrality. Right. Dark cloud of neutrality hangs over your head, my friend.
Yeah. Neutrality and apathy.
Yeah. What about me? Where am I? Okay. Where am I on the thing?
Oh, dude, I would say. What's the middle tier called?
What am I, a fucking nerd? I don't know. You're the one who brought it up. I only remember some of the.
You're in the middle evil. You're in the middle.
Whatever evil. Middle evil, evil middle. That's it. It's political. It's your political alignment as well. Middle evil. Where am I in politics? Middle evil, sir. Took one of those political. Took one of those political chart thingies. It just said evil. Oh, okay. Where else it said middle?
Yeah, middle evil sounds about right for you.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Someone needs to tell me what the center.
Do you want me to look it up? Do you need me to look it up?
No, I don't have to. You don't have to. I can. No, I don't know. Do what you want. You fucking middle evil fucker.
Okay, let's see it. The chart.
That's in your history? Sharks?
Huh?
Sharks?
Say sharks.
Is that my sharks? I thought you said sharks.
It's middle is okay. What the fuck? So it's lawful good, neutral good, chaotic good. Lawful neutral, true neutral, chaotic neutral, lawful evil, neutral evil, chaotic evil.
Okay. So yeah. I already forgot what the middle is called. Neutral evil.
Neutral. I'm neutral evil. I have no opinion.
I think.
Yeah,
I think you're neutral evil, maybe.
I just hate everything. I'm evil neutrally. I think that's. I don't know why it's a line for me. I have no. Like I played Diablo. What's the fucking difference? It's a I don't
know.
Baldur's Gate and shit. It's a D&D campaign. But for some reason, it's a video game. It doesn't mean the same thing to me. I don't have the same problems.
I think yeah, as far as your question goes with where do I draw the line, D&D has to be that.
Yeah, D&D.
I don't know.
I fucking hate it. I don't know why.
Because with that territory comes with the whole, like, I mean, not saying they're not talented musicians, but you know, comes the whole like Blind Guardian shit and Sonata Arctica.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah. They're badass, but it's a little
I think Nightwish is an opening to that kind of crap. You can't want to get into that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And you're listening to MC Chris, wondering what happened with your day.
Where do you draw the line?
D&D, like that was the whole point of this conversation. I don't like it. I don't know why.
Okay, so that's it. Is there anything else aside from D&D? Like, what else would you say? There has to be something else.
I certain anime will do it for me. Like I get behind like the really cutesy or the hentai. I don't wrap my head around those things. No, thank you.
Yeah. That goes without saying.
People who base their personality on like cutesy anime, but you're grown-ups is weird. You know what I'm talking about? Those kind of people.
No, I get it.
There was that
full-grown adults with like these anime characters on their car that are peeking out from the side. Yeah. Like,
or you see the grown men on Twitter with anime girl avatars.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little interesting.
What happened to you that your mother didn't love you? You didn't have a father, obviously. I mean, that's what caused this nonsense.
And anime girl mouse pad where the boobs are the cushion.
Yeah, or the body pillows. Anything James Franco likes is a line for me.
Yeah, he's kind of a apparently a perv, right?
Yeah, he was trying to hit on a little girl. Like, I don't know what else to say.
No bueno.
He does like Cormac McCarthy, so I give him that. But everything else, he can go fucking. What about I also don't like Seth Rogen either. You hear what he said about getting robbed in L.A. Some guy was like, my presents for my kid got stolen out of my car. I'm really upset about it. And he was like, oh man, LA is great. My car gets robbed like 15 times, dude. Someone left a knife behind. Like, why are you so tone deaf, you fucking fat ugly piece of shit? And you're not funny.
I don't know. I like him.
I don't like
him. But I don't know. I feel like he went like kind of.
Maybe the last thing he did that was funny. And has it been over 10 years?
Well, what was it? I actually really enjoyed that movie. This Is the End.
Yeah, that was crap. That's fine.
Yeah.
That had Kenny Powers. I love Kenny Powers, and I still didn't like that movie because I love Eastbound. I loved Eastbound and Down.
I need to watch more of that. I saw like a couple episodes and it cracked me.
It ruined me for one thing. There's a scene where he has a baked potato kiosk in the mall. He runs. And him and Steve Little, the guy who plays his friend, I forget what his name is in the show, they keep calling all of the accoutrements, all of the extras you can top the potato with, called them fiaccents. You'll put on them fiaccents. What are you going to put on them fiaccents? You know? And I have been unable to say the word fiaccents correctly since I've watched that. It started as a joke. I was making fun of a girlfriend of mine, hated it. So I said it all the time. Now I can't unsay it.
Now you're just stuck saying it all the time.
I say brother all the time. You know, as I say brother a little too much. I did it.
Oh, I do too. I did too.
I did it. I was making fun of Hulk Hogan one time years ago, and it stuck.
That's kind of funny because that's the same exact reason.
Was it really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was
doing a Hulk Hogan.
And now I say brother all the goddamn time. And I call people bro.
And I mean it sincerely too.
Like, yeah. Brother. I'm just fucking.
All right, brother.
Another one is Italians. I don't say that, but I had a friend that used to say it all the time, and I'd make fun of him. And now I say it.
You say Italians.
He would go, Italians. I'm like, why are you saying it like an old prospector? Like, I'm gonna get some of that Italian dressing, and I'm like, oh man. Now I say Italian. It's Italian. It's WAP, whatever you want to say.
WAP. I always say arrivederci
Arrivederci.
because of Inglorious Bastards.
Yeah, I don't like that movie, but that was a good scene.
I love that movie. I have to say that actually, we might have to do a top 5 for this, but as far as like cinematic experiences I've had, like in the theater, dude, Inglorious Bastards was actually really fucking wild
I can believe
to see in the
that.
theaters.
Yeah.
Because that whole first scene was like a 20-minute opening scene, dude. And seeing that in theaters for sure stuck out with me. It was something I'll remember.
Tarantino's movies are definitely designed to be seen in theaters. He's got a cinematic quality to him. Like I've discussed my problems with him at length, but certainly not. It's not his directing that I have a problem with. Certainly not. It's not his eye I have a problem with. He understands cinema really incredibly well. To almost,
you just don't like what he wants.
I don't
to
like
make,
what
right?
I don't like what he makes. I like everything about the movie, but the movie.
I get it, dude. It's not your thing.
But he certainly understands movies almost to a fault. Like he borders on like savant level of understanding of how films should be done. I wish he could channel that into something else.
Do you think when people understand things that well that it kind of takes away from what they would enjoy about it when you don't know much?
Yes,
because there's like a mystery. There's like a mystery that's like really fun to.
I'm a person who really, when I like something, I really, really like it, and I know a lot about it. I really get into it. I know a ton about it, and I know everything about it. And there's a certain level of you're not getting the return on enjoyment because of the knowledge you have. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you go too deep with that research,
you start to get a little bitter because now everything is just another thing. So yeah, I think having too much of a good thing is bad. Too much information, too much knowledge, too much of an understanding of something. You start breaking it down to its components instead of just looking at it as a fun experience. I think a lot
for example, the mathematics that would go into making a pop song, right? That's another version.
The algorithmic language of pop music, which I've tried to look into, and it's maddening. There's just a simple formula, but it's quite hard to perfect. You know what I mean? It's that.
And it's ever changing as well, right?
No, it's not. I would say it's not. I think pop music has been essentially the same for 40 years. We just change up the overall sound will change, but the nature of
on
pop
a technical
music,
level,
is exactly technically it'll change, but like it's the same idea. Every pop song is the same idea. You're getting across the same repetitious. It's like a cult chant. You know what I mean? It's repetition, repetition, repetition. Music, repetition, 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 music.
How often do you hear a song on the radio where like
I don't have a radio?
You can, or well, if you hear a song that's being played on, fuck you, just listen. No, like if you're hearing a fucking like popular song on the radio, it's more often than not you can sing another pop song from like a year or two before that uses the same chords, and
it's what is it, 4 chords that it is? It's a 4-chord song. Every pop song is the same 4-chord song. That's the same 4 chords.
There was a comedy band that actually made a display of that.
The Australian guys.
I think so. Yeah.
They sounded like Crocodile Dundee too, right?
Yeah, yeah, they did. And this is not to say that a lot of those songs are necessarily bad.
No, it's just it's a formula designed by these groups to make money, and that's what it is. That's fine.
And it's maddening, though, like you said. It can be a little bit maddening.
It's supposed to be something that it gets into your skull. It's designed so you hear it and you don't forget it. It's a jingle.
Yeah.
Pop music is a jingle to sell you something. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. By Menon, it's fine. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
I got into not really an argument, but I think I got frustrated when I was talking to somebody about Metallica's Enter Sandman and how it's basically a pop song.
It's a pop song. It's definitely a pop song.
Yeah.
They even how
I don't think
like
he was understanding. I don't think he was understanding what I was meaning. I didn't mean that as an insult.
Like, it doesn't mean it's a bad. People think when you say it's a pop song, they mean it's a bad song, and that doesn't mean anything because it doesn't. Plenty of fucking good pop songs.
he's like this, like he's like 20 or 19. So I think he was like, oh, it sounds like rock to me, But I'm like,
Yeah,
no,
but how much
I get what
rock is pop? There's so much. Ever hear
pop,
Led Zeppelin?
Pop is short for popular, isn't
Yeah,
it? So
yeah. Ever hear Led Zeppelin? They're fucking pop music.
yeah,
Stones, Beatles, it's all pop music.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
But Zeppelin is more, I would say, blues though.
Zeppelin
right?
can go get fucked.
I know you have some issues with them.
Care for Led Zeppelin. I just don't care for it. You know what I mean?
Because of is it the stairway thing
what in the fuck is happening to my face? No, they just suck in general. Pieces of shit. Robert Plant's a piece of shit.
We're gonna have to talk about this sometime.
He's a fucking pedophile too. He is actually a pedophile. He's actually a pedophile.
Things about that.
Yeah, they're a bunch of sickos. I mean,
I don't know.
Whatever. I get sick and tired of calling everybody a pedophile. It's on brand. Fucking
on brand, yeah.
And I'm not wrong though. Stop fucking kids. We shouldn't be doing it. Please don't. Refrain.
Did you see that? What's his name? Chris Hansen. He was making a round on a few podcasts recently.
He's a fucking
it was
idiot.
funny.
He's so.
He was on Your Mom's House with Tom Segura. And,
he is such a
flagrant with Andrew Schultz.
He is such an idiot. Like he needs to let it go. He's like hanging on to this thread, hoping that it'll come back. It has sailed. You fucked up. Like he fucked up a couple of big times, and then now he's trying to be like, "Oh, I'm Chris Hansen. I can still catch." He can't do nothing, man. No one's buying your shit. If I went somewhere, Chris Hansen shows up, I wouldn't even be scared. I'd be like, "This motherfucker means I'm getting out of this."
I love how they made him on South Park. Have a seat. What are you doing here?
Like if I showed up, not that I would ever show up at a child's house, but if I showed up somewhere, Chris Hansen showed up, I'd be like, "It's fine. I'm not going to get in trouble because you can't do anything to me." Because you are impotent at this point, Mr. Hansen.
Oh my god,
he is fucking useless. He's a joke, and him and Dr. Phil need to fuck off. And
Dr. Phil,
I can't stand that fucking piece of shit either. He doesn't even have a license to practice psychiatry. Like I don't know what the fuck he's a psychiatrist, doesn't have a license to practice psychiatry. I'm a fucking psychiatrist too. I'm just as qualified.
You mentioned Dr. Phil. Remember that Catch Me Outside girl?
Bad Barbie. Bad Baby. Is it Baby?
I think it's Bad Baby.
I don't really. I've seen documentaries where they mention her. I don't really know anything about her.
I don't know who works with her, but I mean, her rapping isn't all that bad.
It's not bad for real.
It's not awful. It's like it's.
She's a rapper. I thought she was just a chick from Dr. Phil.
No, dude, she's like a millionaire. She's a millionaire now.
Doesn't mean anything. Plenty of assholes.
She makes money. Well, I mean, she makes money. I'm saying.
What's she do? She raps. That's what she does.
Yeah. She made a music career.
Good for her.
And it's all.
I'm sure that I heard that after that they sent her to the camp they sent you to is like a work camp on Dr. Phil, and she was like, "That's bullshit," and I'm like, "Yeah, I agree with you."
Yeah, she still doesn't have a proper relationship with her mom, I'm sure, and
that's a shame to hear. That's a shame that the mother would exploit her and take her on TV instead of trying to get counseling privately.
Yeah.
So what that shows to me is that the mom is a narcissist, and no wonder this girl's fucked up.
And again, with these things, who knows how much of it is really real too. So,
well, I mean, apparently she doesn't have a relationship with her mother, so that's real.
I mean, that I believe, because I think, I think I recall hearing something about it. Like, what are they doing now?
Yeah, just you see these people and they take these people on TV. You're right, you know how much is real, but I would never want to air my dirty laundry like that outside of this format where I'm doing it for me. But like, if I had an issue with my kid or my baby mama, I got a baby mama, I would talk to them.
I think that's the best way to go about it.
I've always said this, and this is from Henry Kissinger, and he was there at the Paris Peace Accords, and he slept with Jill St. John. Diplomacy is the cornerstone of love, right? I have always attributed that to all of my failed relationships. So I am not quite the man Henry Kissinger was. Also, I didn't lie for Nixon, so I got that going for me.
Yeah.
But I would have. So if Watergate happened and I was there, those tapes would be gone. Fuck you.
You
What
would
a
know what to do with those
I'd be
tapes.
done. They'd be out of here. What tapes? What are you talking about?
I don't know nothing.
I can't help Biden, but I can help a president that is not dying of dementia.
Oh man.
And he couldn't help Trump.
So-
That man was he was done. I always refer to him as the star of Home Alone 2.
Yeah.
He's not qualified to be president.
Time.
He was the star of Home Alone 2.
Yep. He's the guy that had the greatest cameo in any kids movie.
Greatest. Now, you know what? I was thinking about, you said that my favorite part in a kids Christmas movie, which is what that was in the one with Schwarzenegger where he's looking for a Turbo Man. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Jingle All the Way. That's one of my favorites.
Phil Hartman, who is the greatest person in the history of the universe, Phil Hartman.
I love Phil Hartman. Yeah.
And there's a scene where he's at Schwarzenegger's house and Schwarzenegger calls and he answers his Phil Hartman. He goes, "I'm just having some of your wife's cookies. They're delicious." And he goes, "Who said you could eat my wife's cookies?"
Who said you could eat my wife's cookies?
It's the greatest scene in that whole fucking movie. And he rips the phone off and flips the fuck out. But Phil Hartman's just so I grew up watching like news radio and that. When he died, man, it broke my heart. You know?
Yeah, dude. I grew up watching his shit too.
Because she was jealous of him.
Yeah.
Man, and he was so supportive.
He should have also left a long time
He
before that.
But, you know, I mean, we don't know the ins and outs of the relationship enough to. We know that she killed him, so we know that part. Mm-hmm. We don't know what led to that.
It was a murder suicide, right? She killed herself after too, didn't she?
I don't remember if she died. I don't remember. I know that I'll never forgive Andy Dick because he's the one who got her back into drugs.
Oh, well, yeah. I don't know. That's complicated,
also,
right?
Andy Dick sucks, so I'm not going to forgive Andy Dick because he's a piece of shit.
Oh, God.
John Lovitz beat him up. Can you imagine that fight?
Ooh.
And can you imagine? Okay,
I'd be doing this. I'd be laughing.
Joe Rogan and Dave Foley are on the same set, and they get to watch Andy Dick fight John Lovitz. Can you imagine getting a fly in that wall?
Oh, I'd love that. I would love that.
John Lovitz would definitely beat him up, though. He would definitely, I would put odds money on John Lovitz beating up Andy Dick.
Oh, yeah.
Any day of the week.
Does John Lovitz do anything now?
I don't think so.
Probably not.
He didn't have a career that was of note.
No. He was funny in what he did, though.
The Critic was great.
What's that? High School High?
High School High with Tia Carrera. Yes, and they were playing Rhinestone Cowboy.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear the advice he gave Kevin Spacey, who's also a pedophile, about doing King Lear?
No.
So he said, "You're doing King Lear." So yeah. He said, "Okay, walk out there with a really big watch." And you look at the watch. And you're looking. Now is the winter of our discontent. That was his advice to improve King Lear. Oh, I think it was King Lear.
I love John Lovitz, dude. I think John Lovitz is like he didn't do much, but he's still underrated. He should be considered more fun.
I would take that. I want to have to do Shakespeare's Greats with John Lovitz and Matt Berry.
Oh, dude. That'd be gold.
They play all the parts.
I love that.
And you know who would do it? What's that bald fuck? Jean-Luc Picard.
Oh, Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart. I can't remember Patrick fucking Stewart's name. He would do it. He doesn't give two shits about goddamn anything. He'll do anything. Patrick Stewart is the white Sam Jackson. He'll do anything you fucking give him. Yeah. Sam Jackson says they just give me scripts and I do them. I don't even care. I don't even know what they are. It's just like I'm acting the same in every either. No, he says he's acting the same in every movie anyways. What the fuck's the difference? It's a fucking they want me to be Sam Jackson and I'm gonna be Sam Jackson. That's like Even in Star
Because Sam
Wars, he was
Jackson
Sam
was saying the
Jackson.
thing.
Yeah, you know,
Oh,
like
yeah.
Nick Fury, he was
Yeah,
just
you never
Sam
get
Jackson
anything else.
with an eye patch. Like he wasn't any
Yeah.
different. He go
I
rub
love how
Benji.
he had that small part in True Romance also.
I forgot. Yeah, he did. I remember he was in a Spike Lee film. I forget what it was, where he plays a crackhead.
Oh,
Not Ebony and Ivory, Jesus, because Jungle Fever, I think it was.
yeah.
Yeah, it was Jungle Fever because it was about an Italian girl dating Wesley Snipes or something like that. And,
no, I haven't seen Jungle Fever. I thought it was a movie.
I think it's Jungle Fever. I'm pretty sure it's Jungle Fever. And so there's a scene where he's a crackhead, and he starts dancing, and then his dad shoots him. And it's like, and I know it's supposed to be emotional, but it's the stupidest fucking scene. And then the end of that movie, a guy's walking down the street. It's like the main guy, and this girl walks up to him and she goes, "You want your dick sucked, mister?" And he grabs her and goes, "No!" And the credits roll. And this is the fucking dumbest shit I've ever seen in my entire life. Not to rag on a film that's got some, I'm sure some emotional stuff in it, but man, that's not good.
No. Oh my god.
What a piece of shit. And then he did the remake of Old Boy, Spike Lee. With fucking
he did that new Old Boy with Josh Brolin. Terrible Old Boy that no one was asking for, no one wanted, was terrible. And I love Josh Brolin. And I'm like, I love Josh Brolin.
Why would you do this? I think he probably thought it was going to be good.
I think I remember seeing it, and I think at the time that I saw it, I didn't think it was terrible.
It was so tone deaf. It didn't understand what the story was about.
Maybe. But also I think it was at a time where I was more tone deaf too, so maybe I didn't notice.
You've seen the original, obviously.
Amazing. One of the most amazing movies.
And if you watch them back to back, I mean, it's not even like apples and oranges. It's like apples and a shit that someone took. Like, I don't understand that kind of crap.
Old Boy is the only movie I've seen of that trilogy.
Yeah, we talked about that. You need to check those other ones out.
Yeah.
You're not really big on Asian cinema, or you just haven't.
It's funny. It's funny you asked. I just haven't seen it yet. Like, I want to get into the Kurosawa. I want to get into all that stuff.
Ooh, I love me some fucking. Okay, right now, if you want to watch Kurosawa, I think his most accessible film is Yojimbo. Personally, because it's got a little bit of it's a lot less dry than like the Seven Samurai or Akiru, which is like a very depressing slow moving film. They're all really good, but as an opening salvo for him, do Yojimbo, and then to get into the heavier stuff, I would do Ron after that, and then go into like Samurai and Akiru and the 20 million other films that he did. But Yojimbo's
Seven Samurai is like his most famous one, right? Seven Samurai.
I don't know that it's his best, but it's definitely his most famous.
Okay.
It's a good film, but it's a long film, and there's a lot less humor in it than like Yojimbo's got a lot of levity to it. It feels like an old Western, which is what they based the Westerns off of, Kurosawa films, spaghetti Westerns. In fact, Magnificent Seven was a remake of Seven Samurai.
So, yeah, I read that.
So I would start with Yojimbo, and then I would go to Ron, which is really, really heavy, but it's breezy. It's a breezy heavy, like it's easy to get through. And then if you like those, get into his Throne of Blood and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
And Seven Samurai.
He spent a long. He was making movies when he was alive for years, right?
Oh, he made a ton of movies.
Up until like the 90s, right?
Look at like Rashomon is the first. It's not the first film to use this device, but it's probably the first one to make it famous, where unreliable narrators and you never get the real story. Because Rashomon's about a girl who may have been raped by a samurai, and so you get a story that's her story, the samurai story, and her husband's story, and they never tell you which one's true. So it's an unreliable narrator. And it was the first big movie to do that, where you never got a linear story. You got interpretations of facts. And it was a game changer for cinema, after that, because you didn't have to have facts. You just had to have a story.
You mentioned the unreliable narrator. That's a big thing. And I haven't read it, but the book Lolita, right? That's a big thing
Lolita is definitely about I would say unreliable.
I've seen the movie, but
unreliable is not the word I would use. I would use pedophile.
Well, obviously
So as unreliable as a pedophile would be, yeah, that's how unreliable he's going to be.
As controversial as this sounds, I would like to read that book actually.
It's a good book. It's actually a good book. It's actually a well-written book. I didn't
because
I didn't love Kubrick's interpretation of it. I think he romanticized it a little bit too much for my taste.
Okay.
Unintentionally.
Because I recently watched the Kubrick one.
The Kubrick one is not
a few months ago.
Not my bag.
I didn't mind it. I thought it was okay.
It's a good movie, but based on my feelings about the book and that relating to the movie, or that he romanticized the relationship a lot more than I would have liked.
Okay.
He made it seem like it was a lot more, and it's hard to tell with Kubrick what he means and what he's saying and what he's doing, and he's but I think that one was a swing and a miss, personally, for me.
I have to say the reason I want to read Lolita is actually related to Nick Cave, and I'm sure because what he said about his father reading the first chapter of Lolita, and he said in that chapter is like a basic example, a perfect example of what good storytelling, good writing is.
Oh, right? It's a really well written book. It's a really interesting. I think as a understanding of someone with the mental capacity to feel that way about a child, it's a very interesting.
You there?
Yeah, can you hear
me? You kind of froze for a second. I think I missed it.
I think that as a understanding of someone who can do that kind of thing to a child, it's a very well written psychological exploration, and I think I've heard people give it grief, but like it's there's merit, and there's people that feel that way, and I think if we understood them and could help them before they do anything, then maybe that we would have a lot less trouble with it. I don't know to what capacity that means, or I'm not giving that a ton of thought, but I think there are people who have mental issues that they can't help, and they're attracted to things that are disgusting and repulsive, and if they don't act on it and we can get them help, I think there's something there to be said about that being a positive, preemptive help. I mean, I don't know what, I would like what capacity.
And me, I'm the positive guy. I would like to think that's kind of true. I don't know. I would think maybe as with what's going to be available to us as on like a technology level.
Yeah.
As we get more into the future,
castration.
I think well, yeah, there's that, but also I think there's more to what you're saying. As we get closer to those kinds of things, as far as things that can read intent and it's a really complicated thing, and we need the kind of technology that can uncomplicate it, I guess.
I also think, in the same token, to say that, I'm going to give myself a counterpoint. Whereas a murder, fires, etc. There's a defense for certain things. You may have to kill someone because you think your life's in peril. You may have to do something. There's never a reason for rape.
Yes.
There's no moral. There's no. You're not backed in a corner and you got to rape. You know what I mean? It's not. So, as a counterpoint to my own argument, I also disagree with myself, because in certain things that are crimes, drug addiction is a big thing, alcoholism is a big thing, you get lost in those things. There's nothing that makes you rape. You're not taking a swig of vodka and then you got to rape. You're not having to rape to get out of a situation. There's never a fucking call for it. So there's no moral standing. Like, if you kill someone, you can make a passionate plea about why you did it.
Yeah.
You can make an impassioned, you can reason out why you killed someone. You can reason out, and you may be right. But there's nothing that you can say. Nothing. Not one thing.
Just looks so good, man.
There's not one word you could utter, or one thing you could possibly that would ever make that okay. So, as a counterpoint to that, I don't know. as I think that, in my opinion, we see these, like, there's you're murder one and blah blah blah. You rape a kid, you go to jail forever. Like, there's not an argument against that you could.
Yeah.
I want to say this right now. Get all the non-violent drug offenders, get them out of jail right now. Keep all the pedophiles in jail forever.
Yep. I agree with that.
I just did prison reform. There you go.
Yeah, no,
Fucking
that's
it's a
one
two-step
that's a big
process.
thing for prisoners.
Non-violent drug offenders or non-violent offenders, depending on what they did. Well, get them out of here. Bankers, lock them up forever. Putin did it. It worked pretty well.
Lock up Peaks in the hall.
Oh yeah, get that fucking piece of shit.
Lock him up.
Maybe
Call the fucking cops, man.
Because of his erectile dysfunction, maybe it'll help.
Maybe.
And put all the pedophiles in the maximum security prison and lock them up forever. That's it. I mean, that's it. I've fixed the prisons. Also, lock up all the politicians and kill them.
And also, everyone's a pedophile, right?
Not everybody, just the politicians and the pedophiles.
The guys you mentioned.
Just the rich people and everybody that's a billionaire. And, I don't like Elon Musk, but I don't know if he's a pedophile. He probably is, but he had like a girlfriend. Like he dated Grimes.
No, I gotta say, I kind of.
I don't know. I don't know enough.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna get shit.
I don't know enough about him. I don't like him just because he seems like a cunt. Because he's a rich guy and he seems like a cunt. But I don't know.
No, I mean what I've heard him say in interviews, I liked what he said. A lot of people don't like how people think he manipulated certain things. I don't know.
Well, I mean, okay, hold on. You don't get to be a billionaire if you don't manipulate shit for yourself. I mean, that's sort of the narcissism goes with the territory.
Yeah, sorry, but I mean, I also think that on a technology level, he's doing some really incredible things for the world. Maybe.
Now, as far as technology goes, he doesn't invent anything. He buys patents.
Okay,
that's a fact I know, but he's still using the patents, I guess, to give him some credit. I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know enough about the guy to have a real conversation with you about it.
I don't either. I don't either.
I mean, we're really
going
grasping
on the surface level from what I've seen, from what I understand.
I think he's probably a cunt in general.
Maybe, I don't know.
He seems like he seems like a dime store Tony Stark to me. And Tony Stark was a pretty big cunt. So you tell me Tony Stark wasn't a cunt? That guy was a cunt. He was like a piece of shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he was Iron Man, and I'm calling him a piece of shit. He
was a charismatic cunt, though.
Oh well, yeah. Robert Downey Jr. He was that in real life. He's a charismatic cunt. Guy's a piece of shit. Not anymore.
Do you like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang?
Fuck yeah, I like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. That's like Sam Jackson again.
There you go.
Yeah, it's another fucking. Wasn't he in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang? No. Who was it? It was him and
it was Robert Downey Jr. and Val Kilmer and Michelle Monaghan.
Yeah. She's hot. She's fucking.
She's cutie. Yeah.
She was hot. Her and True Detective, she was super hot.
I haven't seen True Detective. I heard it's really good.
Only watch the first season. Don't watch the second one.
Okay.
The first one they're not related. Yeah, I forgot Kiss Bang. Yes, I was thinking of a different
movie. Yeah. That's a really funny movie too.
Val Kilmer, he's not doing so well, huh?
No, dude, I want to watch that documentary. It's supposed to be really good.
I mean, the one thing that I have an issue with is they painted him in a nicer light than I've heard, because he was a piece of shit. Like, I watched a documentary about the island of Dr. Moreau, and he was such a cunt.
Really?
Everybody fucking hated him. And, he was just arrogant and got people's lines taken away. And, what's his name hated him. What the fuck is his name? For Apocalypse Now. We have the worst fucking memory. We're so useless.
So do you.
I said we.
Oh, okay. I also
Marlon Brando fucking hated him.
Oh,
and Marlon Brando knew, because they fired the director, but the director didn't. So the director got fired, but since he never got on the plane, he was never technically fired. So he just went and lived with some hippies because they technically had to pay him if he never got on the plane. So he hung out with the hippies and then came back on set in costume.
What the fuck?
And would hang out. Like, they couldn't. Technically, he wasn't fired unless he got on the plane and went home.
Wow.
So Richard Stanley was the guy's name, who I like. He did The Color Out of Space, which a couple years ago.
Hell yeah. I love that one.
And he did Hardware, which was really good. But he's a really eclectic dude. And they hunted this other dude. Marlon Brando hated this other dude. and would just he would force changes, rewrites of the script. He kept the script in his hat. He would not do any of the scenes. Veruza Balk, who he had scenes with, she said he loved her. And she was like, well, how do our characters relate? And he goes, honey, it doesn't fucking matter what we say. He's like, it doesn't fucking matter. So do whatever you want. So I'm gonna wear this funny hat. And he demanded that little dude get hired and be in all the scenes with him. And just like, he just was like, I hate you. I'm gonna fucking ruin this movie. And Val Kilmer was increasingly a cunt, and they couldn't fire him. And him and Marlon Brando hated each other. And there was a conversation that like, he was trying to talk to Brando, and he goes, oh, Mr. Brando, beautiful reefs today they were on an island. And he goes, yeah, I have reefs on my island. And that was all he would say. That was the only thing he said about Kilmer.
That's all he said about it.
He was like, he's done talking to you, you piece of shit.
Fucking
did not
douchebag. What a dick.
I mean, he did. They were both dicks. Kilmer was apparently a piece of shit on set. And
wait, I'm sorry. You said that Brando said this to Kilmer?
Yeah, he said I have reefs. I saw reefs on my island.
Okay, no, sorry. I think it's because Brando was already fed up with the shit, though.
Yeah, he was already done with it. I mean, Brando was notoriously a piece of shit too, though. I mean,
yeah. You know what rumor I loved? That Brando and Pryor had some stuff going on.
We don't know that's not true.
I'm pretty sure. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm saying.
I heard it. I remember George Carlin talking about Richard Pryor, and he said I love Richard Pryor. When he had a heart attack, I had a heart attack. He had a second heart attack. I had a second heart attack. Then he set himself on fire. I just had another heart attack. Because everyone Pryor set himself on fire.
Yeah, no. Can you tell me about that? Because I don't know.
How that happened. I forget.
Did he go crazy?
He went. Oh yeah, he went crazy. I don't remember the whole story. It's been a while since I've looked into it. But Pryor was a crazy man. He was not all there.
Yeah.
Fantastic comedian. Especially that's any good comedian.
Towards the end.
Oh yeah.
Towards the end, you heard some bad stories, some like sad stories about him.
Depressing. He was shitting himself and all this other stuff.
Because Rogan would have to follow him at the Comedy Store. Because he would
during the last days.
Yeah, dude. He would be carried up there. And they had the fucking gain turned all the way up so you can like hear every little crackle because he can barely get a word out.
Why would they do that?
He wanted to. It's because he wanted to. He just wanted
the last thing he enjoyed.
Yeah,
the last thing he enjoyed.
Yeah, and of course, yeah. So it was Rogan's job afterwards because while Rogan was
pitch hitting for fucking dying, like that's not fun.
So like check this out. He would say that he would have to perform while they were still working on getting Pryor down with the wheelchair and everything. So he was
What kind of jokes can you make?
I don't know, man, but he did it, man. That's why he's a fucking amazing comedian.
My god, can you imagine? The thing about Joe is he's better at knowing about comedy than I think he is actually at being funny.
You think so?
He's
I love his stand-up, man.
His stand-up's good, but he's one of those guys where like he's a better teacher than he is the thing he's doing.
Maybe. I don't know.
I think he could show you how to be a comedian better than he could be a comedian. He knows all of the ins and outs, the little things that you should do and what you shouldn't do and all this little stuff. And I think he's better at telling people about that. And his comedy's funny, but he's not the super funniest guy in the world or anything. You know what I mean? Like he's not that funny. He's funny.
Yeah.
But I think he's better at telling you how to be funny and how you should do your performance than he is actually.
I mean, he is a really amazing teacher when it comes to that.
That's what I mean. I think he's one of those people that's like, he could show you how to be a comedian better than he could be a comedian.
Yeah. Did you were you a Bill Hicks fan? You had to be a Bill Hicks fan.
Everybody loves Bill Hicks. Come on,
of course. Yeah. I mean, he would be a little self-righteous at times, of course, right?
He was very
but he had some issues.
And he was all about that, and that was fine. That was what he wanted.
Yeah, totally fine.
Part of his thing.
Totally.
My ex was super into Bill Hicks. She like made Bill Hicks stuff, and she would crochet Bill Hicks, or I don't know, crochet or whatever it's called. She just really loved the guy, and he's fucking hilarious. And I was I'm a big Bill Hicks fan. Bill Burr,
Oh, Bill Burr, fucking dude, Paper Tiger, his most recent
It's
special
fucking
on
great.
Netflix.
It's great.
For me, it's his best one, man.
The
And
man,
his podcast is amazing too.
he's like a modern day Lenny Bruce for me. He's
Yeah.
fucking
His
fantastic.
show, his cartoon show, F is for Family, is great. Also,
I don't like it. It's not funny. I don't think it's funny.
no, you don't like it? I like it. I thought it was funny.
It's that generic fucking humor that all those shows have.
See,
Just,
I can get into that.
They're just like the same fucking show over and over and over again. They saw Rick and Morty and they were like, we can do this, but they don't understand why that show works. It's because there's actual writers writing on that show.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Dan Harmon is a writer, like a good writer. He understands storytelling. They have a bunch of fucking shitty comedians sitting around in a goddamn room telling quippy jokes and think that's fucking humor.
Have you heard Dan Harmon on the Duncan Trussell's podcast?
I have not. What, do you have to say anything interesting?
You should.
I've listened.
I mean, it's just a good one. I
like the guy.
really good.
He's a little self-righteous too. Talk about kind of a piece of shit.
A little bit,
stuff,
yeah.
But I like the guy. He can do no wrong in my eyes. Like he's just one of those guys.
There's a few people we feel that way about.
He's just one of those people that just like he puts an effort in everything he does, and you can see it. And there's a mark of quality. It's not a high mark, but it's certainly a mark. Even a low mark is a mark.
Dude, I think I feel that way about John Lurie, where I mean, in the sense that he can do no wrong in my eyes. Yeah.
Except when he was fucking over Jim Jarmuth.
Oh fuck no, fuck that, dude.
You don't know, but you don't know Jarmuth's version of that story.
Exactly, I don't. But also, here's the thing. It's since we're talking about it, he got to another part where he mentions Jarmusch, and he was pretty much like talking about the last time that he ever spoke with him.
Is this when he was on Epstein's plane?
No. Fucking no, dude. It's I think it was I'll just talk about it. It's in the book, man. But it's he's talking to Jarmusch about his Lyme disease.
Yeah.
And how it was
that shit fucked you up, man.
Before. Yeah. And he was like opening up to him about it and saying like, hey, you're my neighbor. You only live a few houses down from me. If it's not too much, please check in on me every now and then. And then that was the last time you ever heard of him. Ouch. And this is the last thing that he said after he said this all after saying that Jarmusch kind of sort of stole the dead man idea from Lurie.
Wasn't a very particularly original idea. Let's be honest here. Wasn't like a.
I mean, even the way he wrote in the book. I'm going to say it like, how many is that a common genre that a white man and a Native American traveling across a strange?
Yes,
I suppose
the British wrote a ton of novels about that, except for white guys in Africa, or white guys in India, or white guys with the yellow peril. That's a really common truth. Yes, but
also check this out though. So I mean, Lurie wrote a fucking screenplay. He wrote this whole.
Oh, he wrote the screenplay.
Listen, he wrote a screenplay, and he had Roberto Benigni in mind. That's how you say his name, right? Benigni, Panini. I don't know. You know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. Paul Bellini.
Paul Bellini. Roberto Panini. It was supposed to be for him, and he was supposed to play, the white guy, and it was going to be a Native American with him. It was a whole screenplay about the white guy and a Native American traveling together. He sends a script to Jarmusch to get his opinion, and doesn't hear back from him. And then
the movie.
But here's the thing: things are supposed to get rolling for John Lurie to get the funding for his movie. But the thing is that Jarmusch is already getting funding for a Western with a white man and a Native American.
This
is
upsetting.
A couple years after. It was really upsetting, dude. I'm sorry that I had to spoil that part for you.
That's okay. That's all right.
It's way later in the book too. So
that's a little bit upsetting to hear about. I mean, that's disappointing.
Because I wanted to talk about it, man, because it fucked me up. I said this before, how these kinds of things can be really disappointing.
Yeah.
Because, and I told you before, in my fantasy head, I see these two amazing artists. Because Jim Jarmusch is still an amazing artist. I love it.
Yeah, he's all right.
I love his stuff. But, you think that these two accomplished artists in their own fields would grow up and there would be some kind of like mutual understanding and mutual respect. But then now you hear about these things happening, and then
Well, like
in a way you wish it
don't
could be.
we
Like
don't know we don't know the whole story. I mean,
I know, but still, that's all I know so far. That's all I know.
I mean,
so far.
I recall it was about 10 years ago. I had written a script called White Man, Indian Man. It was like a hyphen. There was like a lightning bolt in between, and it was about it was a Western about this white guy and this Indian guy, hanging out and doing stuff. I'd sent my script to John Laurie for him to get some approval on it, and I never heard back from him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many years ago was this?
Oh, it was probably like 10, 15 years.
Oh, that's
It's a fact.
So that went 3 layers deep.
Yeah. So White Man, Indian Man never got made. I had to go with my second one, Asian Man Conquistador. So I was at a party years ago. It was a Halloween themed party. There was a girl there dressed like an angel, and she was proper white girl drunk.
White girl wasted.
And she was talking about how much she loved interracial pornography. And I said, well, what is interracial pornography to you? Most times you think like, black and white. She said, Asians and conquistadors. I said, one of those is a race, sort of. Asian encompasses a lot of different kinds of people. Conquistadors no longer exist, and does not necessarily specify. I mean, I guess Spanish, but like I've never looked. I don't know. I don't look at porn, but is there a lot of Spanish Asian?
I think say Spanish.
Is there a lot of Spanish Asian mixing in your pornography?
I don't think it's common. I don't think it's very common. Is
there a lot of conquistador period era?
I thought you would call that Spanish rice porn.
Spanish rice? Okay. I accept. Yeah, that's actually pretty funny. Is there a lot of period clothing in pornography for conquistadors to be? I never understood what that she meant by that, but I don't even know who she was. Oh, you're
It's just funny. It's just funny. I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm here. I just got 20% of my battery. That's all.
Well, I mean, we can be done whenever. We've been a little long.
How long have we been going?
Well, I don't know. It doesn't tell me.
Oh, I thought you had like a timer or something.
I have a clock, and it's wrong.
What time is it? I can't get the time. God damn it. What time is it?
It's 12:49.
Okay.
Yeah. Subtract from that.
I got you. No, I was trying to remember how many hours ahead you were. I got you. Yeah, I'm actually pretty decent at math.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why. Yeah. Well, as far as like kind of doing equations in my head. Don't test me. Fuck you.
I love that they're like, you went to school and they're like, you're not gonna have a calculator. The first app they invented for the phone was a calculator.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm never gonna not have my fucking calculator. Fuck you, you piece of shit.
That absolutely invalidated that argument.
Yeah. Well, also, when would you not have a calculator? If I'm a mathematician, I'm still gonna have a calculator. If I'm working on a building, I'm going to have a calculator. What situation were they preparing you for where you wouldn't have a calculator?
Exactly. It's
if I'm an accountant,
what you need to add.
I have a calculator. I'm a fucking accountant. Like, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I hate school. We were talking about school. Yeah. I'm definitely homeschooling Ava. I hate everything about school. I've told you that I did not pass 1 grade, right?
No, you didn't tell me that. No.
I failed 1st grade till 11th grade, and they did not hold me back.
Because of the No Child Left Behind thing,
because
right?
I was a piece of shit. They literally pulled my mother into a meeting in 4th grade, and they said, Sean has failed every grade, and we've passed him because he's too difficult to keep in the grade.
Jesus.
So I literally fell through the cracks. Quite literally fell through the cracks. I never did 1 piece of homework. I never took 1 fucking test. I failed everything. My GPA in high school was a 0. I would leave out the window 1st period when the teacher would walk out of the room because I was so sick of it. I hated school. I hated it so much that I failed, and they wouldn't. And then they called me in 11th grade, and the principal called me, and they said, "Please do not return to school. You are no longer welcome to come back."
You just got expelled, and
yeah, that was it. I got my GED.
Yeah.
And I got a date with the GED teacher because she was like 2 years older than me. She was like a teacher's assistant. She was like 18.
Oh wow.
But
I didn't like school either, man. I fucking hated school growing up.
I hate it with a passion.
I mean, I love my friends. I love the friends that I had. I had a couple of friends. Friends.
Well, yeah, there's a good group of friends. Me and my friends all had the same Undertaker hoodie. So we're all losers.
Nice.
Losers.
I at a certain point in high school, I was hanging out with the I always like hung out for like a few minutes with a bunch of different groups in my on my lunch break and whatever. And but I remember I took to the thrash kids, you know, the thrash metal kids.
Yeah.
And I was hanging out with them, and then I got the fucking, I tried to get the leather jacket with the tight pants, and but not that I didn't go as far as the tight pants. I think I'm just saying get around.
Stuck the sock down his pants.
But no, I got the high top white Reeboks, though, you know.
Oh.
So
yeah,
got those, and then. But speaking of thrash metal, I mean, what's that one song, Wild at Heart? Fucking
the one song of Wild at Heart is the thrash metal.
It's fucking great. Power Mad.
Never think about my jacket.
How it's a symbol of your individuality.
We need more Nicolas Cage and David Lynch stuff.
We talked about this.
He should have popped up in Twin Peaks.
He should have.
He should have been.
Love for him to pop up.
He should have been. He was Chester Desmond after he returned from Red Room. Whatever happened to him. Chris Isaac. He turned from Chris Isaac to right? He turns from Chris Isaac to Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage. Yep. Going full on crazy Nicolas Cage.
Yeah,
Black Lodge, doppelganger, fucked up.
I would love to see him chewing on the scenery, quite literally, of the Red Room. You know?
Oh man. Yep. Oh, interacting with all the fucking people and weird
great
entities.
I think it'd be brilliant. He'd be riding the horse.
Yeah, that could be a cool list, right? A top 5 actors we would love to see in David Lynch.
Oh, that's a good idea. I'm gonna put that down.
Yeah. What we think they can do, or that could be cool.
Because the next one we're doing is, hold on a second, Twin Peaks Season 1, Episode 3.
Rest in Pain.
Yes, and we're going to have one Miss Wholesome Peaks on with us.
Woo!
On Coral, no last name given. I know what it is, but I don't want to tell everybody because she gives away way too much information on her shit.
Killer.
And like dudes are hitting her up and asking her. So a guy hit her up and said, how many fingers am I holding up? And I think that means it's penis. Right? What do you think that means?
Penis. What else does it mean?
I don't know. I assume it means penis.
I'm sure.
And she's like, I don't want to block them. I'm like, just block them. Like, what do you give a shit? Gives a shit about these fucking creeps.
It just said that. I mean, there's no.
I mean, they were saying other stuff too. They were talking about, I don't know. He said his personality. Said his personality is tacos, and I said, what is he? Fucking Hot Topic kid from fucking 2003.
Okay, I
don't know what that means. You know what I mean? Like he watched too much Invader Zim or something like that, and then like that's his personality now.
Anyways, Wholesome Peaks, our next guest.
She's our guest. She's our next guest. I don't count. I don't consider her a guest. I consider her a fucking nuisance.
A nuisance.
I got a bunch of questions for her, like why?
Why would you do?
How dare you? How dare you?
Why? Is that going to be the first 5 minutes?
Yeah. Of the pod? I mean, I got a bunch of stuff. How dare you? You piece of shit.
Jesus. Are you? You're gonna make her like just log off?
She's not gonna log off. She's gonna sit there and take it. She loves the abuse. That's why she puts up with me for so long. I do this every fucking day. I give her grief, and she does not give a shit. In fact, her most liked post in the past couple of days was about me, giving her shit.
Oh, yeah. I love that. That was great. I'm gonna be all quiet again because I'm gonna feel awkward and not know what to say when you're like,
oh no, mommy and daddy are fighting.
Words. Mom and dad
are saying no words. Why are they wrestling?
I can just
It'll be all right.
Oh, man.
I just,
No,
I
it's
just
gonna
think
be-
that she
it's
should
gonna
be
be cool.
called to, she should be called to task for the things that she does.
Yeah.
Anti-Semitism.
Yep. Yep.
It's a big
I mean, a Holocaust denier is a nuisance to any community.
yeah, she
right?
literally sat there and told me, she looked me dead in the eyes and she said, 606 million, what's the difference? Said those very words.
Oh my god.
Told me she had the Red Cross reports that there was no evidence of genocide. Said she had these things.
And you're
I've
gonna
listened-
confront her about all
I've
this, right?
listened to the Holocaust denier stuff. Like I know this is what they actually say, and I've listened to it. And it's hilarious because it is so fucking out there.
Are there any Jewish Holocaust deniers?
Oh, there's tons of them.
Really?
Yeah, man. Self-hating Jew is like one of the biggest troops you can get.
Jesus.
There's,
That's,
I think most of
wild.
them are Gentiles, but I've listened to this nonsense, and I like to hear the other side of stuff, like as crazy as it possibly is. So I watch a lot of like,
it's important.
I just love it.
It can be important sometimes.
I remember when I was younger, I went on Stormfront just to see what all the hubbub, how crazy these people were. They were crazy.
What's Stormfront?
Stormfront was a white nationalist forum.
Oh,
it
wow.
was like the racist forum. And
went to Stormfront.
And I went there and I didn't sign in or anything. I just went, I was looking around and I was like, I didn't really understand racism to this degree, I guess, because I never grew up. I grew up with mixed people, you know what I mean? Like I grew up with black people and Asian people and Indian people. I never experienced it because I was with people who were all different, and they didn't really experience it to the degree that these people were talking about. And I never heard such things. I never heard such people having real. I thought that I'd see stuff on TV and I thought that was like they were playing it up. People don't really think this stuff
because you never actually saw
I never really saw it because I was living in cities, Austin and Philadelphia and something like that. You fucking you don't see a lot of racists there. Like it doesn't make sense.
I was in LA, so yeah, you don't really see much of that. I mean, you hear the words, the slurs being passed across.
Yeah, but like some of that's
not
just
really
so
hatefully.
No, it's casually. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I stayed in Chinatown a lot in Philadelphia, and like I never really. Yeah, nobody ever really. People would say shit, but then nobody gave a shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then I moved to this part of Pennsylvania, and people are racist, like real racist, like genuinely, like they really hate. I was at a job. I was at a job somewhere in an office, and a lady was talking to another lady, and she actually said these words. She said these. This is almost verbatim. I swear to God. She said, they say that Black people are a minority population, but I don't think that's true.
Wait, hold on. Tell me that again, please.
She said, they say that Black people are a minority of the population, but I don't think that's true.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm listening and I'm sitting there and I'm like, what the fuck did you say? And she repeated it, and I said, "That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard in my entire life." Like I couldn't wrap my head around that level of racism. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it was too.
Yeah, because you don't understand how
it was so stupid.
How does their logic work where they can really think?
I don't fucking know.
And
also, if you really believe that, look up statistical population of the United States, and you'll see like it's fucking there. Like I don't know what she meant.
It's in the numbers, you know.
But so I went on there just to see what these people were fucking about, and I did not realize like they really hated everything. They hated everything. Jeez. They didn't just hate Jewish people and Black people. They hated people were talking about like Hawaiians. Like what are you talking about Hawaiians? Fuck's talking about Hawaiians. Never heard.
Just fucking.
When do you see a Hawaiian? Just don't go to Hawaii. You'll probably be fine. Like.
It's all just pure ignorant hatred, right? I mean,
it just like they were mad at like Tongans and shit. I've met 2 Tongans in my life.
I've never met a Tongan in my life.
Like how many Tongans could you possibly know that you hate them? Like my sample size is 2. They were both pretty cool guys. Yeah, it's just pure unfettered ignorance. I don't think it exists anymore. I don't know. I was there one time just for my curiosity. Yeah. And good God. I don't get it.
Fuck racism,
Yeah.
but some stereotypes are
don't
funny
be.
here and there.
No, there's something to be said for jokes about things are different than hate.
Yeah.
I think there's plenty of I think stereotypes
It's not coming from a place of hate. It's coming from a place of love. You're trying to fucking get people to
stereotypes
laugh, man.
as a joke exist in the realm of comedy for a reason. They can be very funny, if not overused. Sometimes it's like, okay, I get the joke. It's but I'm not. I don't understand it.
Yeah. Fuck racism.
Fuck. Yes,
No
we
point.
we here at DarkPeaks podcast, we believe in fuck racism. Because Adam himself is I believe he's a Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican?
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
And I myself come from. I couldn't think of anything.
What's up? Where?
I got nothing. I don't know.
What do you know?
I from the Tongan Islands.
I want to call you Tongan now.
The Tongan kid. There's a lot of professional wrestlers that are Tongans and Samoans.
Yeah.
Rock is half Samoan, definitely. Famously.
Rikishi. I remember Rikishi.
Yeah, Rikishi is Samoan.
What was that one?
Roman Reigns currently is Samoan. The Usos are Samoan. Samoan SWAT team, they were obviously Samoan.
Who's the one dude that has the Unagi?
Umaga, he's dead, but he was also Samoan.
Oh, sad.
A lot of them are related. It's just the one family. It's the Rock's family is like all these people are related to him. Like Rikishi and Roman Reigns and Umaga are all related.
Do you like The Rock as much as everybody else likes The Rock?
I got no issues with The Rock.
I have no issues with The Rock.
I do not.
I think he deserves all the like and all.
I do not watch his films because they are bad, but I appreciate that he is putting on movies that people enjoy.
Yeah.
I don't need to watch them.
He's a good dude, right?
I am steeped in the wrestling lore and history. Even in the history of wrestling, you rarely hear a bad word about Mr. Johnson. Nary a bad word is uttered, just because he's not really that big of a piece of shit. He just hasn't done that many shitty things. You
don't really hear too many bad things about people who prioritize a good work ethic and respect for others. You know how much fish he eats
in a year? It's like a
lot.
It's 900. It's like 974 pounds.
Jesus.
Of fish.
How much? Fuck.
Could you imagine? That's like a small whale. I don't know. It's like pounds and pounds of fish a day. It's disgusting. I don't know. That's why he looks like that, because he's all fish. Man, it's mostly gills.
Just because of nostalgia, we would for sure have to do a top 5 of something wrestling related. I would think, because I that was a big part of my life growing up, watching the Attitude Era.
I have to do like an old school stuff for you. Yeah, I have to do like what we should do? We're doing watch-alongs, folks, for when we get our Patreon up and running. We'll do like a WrestleMania, like an old school WrestleMania, like X7 or something. That could
be cool. We can do the WrestleMania where was the Iron Man between Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, that match was so fucking boring. It was unreal.
Well, it was cool. I was fucking. I guess maybe I'm just remembering.
You haven't watched it in many years. I have watched it not too long ago. Let me tell you.
Was the Mankind and Undertaker Hell in the Cell? Was that
that was at King of the Ring '98. I was there live for that.
No,
it was at the Mellon Arena. Yeah, in Pittsburgh.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
Yeah,
to say that you saw Mick Foley wrestle is
I've seen him wrestle a bunch of times. Right? I've seen him wrestle dozens of times.
As all 3 personas.
I don't ever think I saw Dude Love. I saw Cactus Jack, and I saw Mankind. I was never there for Dude Love, because he only did Dude Love like in like '96 for a little bit. But I remember I was watching it not too long ago, Hell in the Cell, the Undertaker one in '98 with a friend of mine, and he starts fucking crying. He's like, I've never seen this before. And he's crying. He's like, is he okay? He's like, oh my God, is he really hurt? Man, he got fucked. His tooth came through his fucking mouth. He got several concussions. He kept coming back. Terry Funk is there, and Terry Funk's shoes fall off.
That's a book I wish I still had. I as a wrestling fan,
Yeah.
I
His
had
book, his first
my
one.
family. Yeah, well, he had more. He
He
came
did
out with more after?
he did 3 biographies, and then he did some kids' books.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
only knew the first big biography he did when he was like
Have a nice day.
when that was like yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it was. Have a nice day. I had my brother or someone buy me the paperback of that, but just because I was a wrestling fan, I never actually read the thing.
Yeah.
And
It's good.
but
It's interesting.
I imagine it's heavy.
Oh yeah, it's
You
and the problem with that King of the Ring '98 is the rest of the show was pretty shitty. The main event was Steve Austin and Kane in a first blood match, but Kane wears a
Mm.
full body red suit,
Yeah, and he had the
so
mask.
you
So
can't see if he's bleeding. And Steve Austin came into it with a staph infection, and
Oh
the
wow.
rest of it was Ken Shamrock became King of the Ring. He beat The Rock, which was okay. It was not a great show.
We're gonna what change the topic a little bit, but speaking of Mick Foley, he wrote a really interesting random article piece about Tori Amos. And
What did Mick Foley have to say about Tori Amos?
just how much he talking about how one of her songs meant a lot to her.
What is the Venn diagram to have
I don't
those
know.
two
I
in
don't
the
remember the
same
context in which
realm?
it got released.
But you know what I mean? Like that's not an overlap you ever.
No. I mean, hey, that's what my page is about, man. So over like crossovers and overlaps.
The Mick Foley Tori Amos crossover we were all hoping for. The Diamond Dallas Page Bruce Springsteen crossover I was aching to see. Like
but the reason. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I didn't have anywhere to go.
No, I'm sorry. I know, but the reason I brought it up is just because fun fact. That's kind of one of the reasons I explored Tori Amos a little bit more.
It was Mick Foley.
Yeah, because it was a little thing he wrote about her and her voice, and
it's
like,
too
I kind
much.
of saw it after.
You know whose opinion I really want about music is Mick Foley.
Actually, I would say try and find it because he actually. I'm
going to, right? There's no reason.
It was kind of, from what I remember, it was a long time ago when I read it.
He's a pretty heartfelt guy.
Yeah, it was beautifully written. Yeah. Check it out for sure.
Steve Austin's biography, he talks a lot about Fleetwood Mac, genuinely.
No, really? Nice.
So there's that. There's another we got to cross over with the Fleetwood Mac, Steve Austin, of course. Him on the.
I was so obsessed with The Rock when I was a kid, and I did we had those Scholastic book fairs and stuff.
Those things.
And yeah, man. And I remember I was in 5th grade, and I there was a really small paperback like bullshit biography on The Rock. It was like a 70 or 80 page little thing for kids. And I did my book report on that.
Hey man, the man worked his ass off. I give him all the credit in the world. His dad was a piece of shit. Rocky Johnson was a horrible piece of shit. He wanted to be a football player, couldn't be a football player, busted his ass wrestling, never stopped busting his ass.
Man, it's kind of wild that era of wrestling kind of ruled my life a little bit.
It was a big deal. Wrestling, I mean, I'm still a huge wrestling fan. I don't watch WWE or anything like that, but it's stuck with me.
Yeah, it definitely ruled my life for a good while. And now I feel like I would still have the same love for the nostalgic stuff that I'm talking about right now.
So my ex she was big into wrestling, okay? Mm-hmm. And when guys would find out, she would get the same line. So I used to be into it when I was a kid. What wrestlers do you like? And she'd be like, no one you've heard of, because if you told me that, obviously you don't fucking watch it
anymore. Yeah, you don't know.
And she get this all the time from dudes when they try to hit on her. That would be their thing. Oh, I see you like wrestling, so I watched it Attitude Era. So what wrestlers do you like?
They just want to reminisce of the stuff they loved when they were.
She's like, you don't really want to have this conversation with me because I know more than you about it, and guys hate that. And they do. Guys hate that shit. They hate when women know more than them about something. I don't know why.
That's how you find those are insecure guys.
Well, and she would get it. She'd be like, I know more about wrestling than these guys, and they would get mad at me. And it's like, well, you like it. That's why you know about it.
Mhm.
My, you know,
I
I
mean,
used to,
I can see that though. I mean, it's like a natural kind of reaction. It's like there's a whole lot of stuff at play there, right? When a guy would get embarrassed about something like that, there's like some psychological,
there's a lot of
evolutionary stuff in there too,
dude,
right?
let me tell you something. So I used to run a whiskey bar, and my ex would run the bar, so she knew a ton about whiskey, like a
That's sweet.
ton.
You guys ran that bar together,
Yeah,
or you guys?
yeah.
Oh, that's wow.
And guys would come in, and they would get mad because she knew more about the whiskey. She runs a fucking whiskey bar. Like she's the bartender at a whiskey bar.
Wow.
She has to know about whiskey. And guys would be like, well, blah, blah, blah. She's like, well, you're wrong. It's this. And they'd be like, no, no, no. And she's like, whatever what's the difference? Like it happened once a day. You get some snobby dude. He'd be like, well, actually, bro. She's like, no, it's a blend. It's not this. It's this. And she was real matter of fact. Like, this is what it is. You're fucking wrong. Like,
Yeah, I wouldn't
sorry,
get
bro.
offended or like,
It's like
because she knows she's right.
Yeah, it's
so
just
like,
facts.
she's not gonna
Yeah.
fucking get offended or
And
like,
dudes would be like, no. And
get physical about it.
yeah, I would watch these dudes and watch their heads swell with anger. I sit there and watch them. They would just get madder and madder that how dare a woman know something? Like, get the fuck out of here.
I've seen guys speak out about stuff, and I've seen guys get kind of scary when they get mad like that.
Dude,
you know,
dudes. You know, there's something to be said. You hear about, I had my lesser moments as a man that I've tried to outlearn or outwork or unlearn or whatever you want to say, and it's hard to break old habits of being a shitty person or doing shitty things for X reason or Y reason. But I think every experience you try to grow. But those guys who like hit stuff, and I'm sure I've done that when I was younger. That's a form of intimidation and of violence that they're trying to get across, and it's something that I wish we could teach these younger guys. No, man, don't even play like that. Don't even, our generation's ruined. It's ruined. But we should tell these guys, don't bottle up your anger, don't hit stuff when you're mad, because what you're showing a woman, what you're showing your partner, it doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman or whoever, is that you're lucky I didn't hit you.
Yeah. And then it becomes this like weird mind game where they should feel lucky that they didn't feel
and I'm just as responsible for that as anyone else. I did that when I was younger, and I've done shitty things to people, and I've had shitty things done to me, obviously, with the stabbings and the knifings and the people sticking fingers in my butt when I'm sleeping. And and it's not okay, but it's not okay, and you have to unlearn that kind of bullshit. And I'm still working through unlearning some negative things that I had. And I want any younger guys that are listening to me, communication with your partner is important. If you're mad, talk to them about why you're mad. Talk, have an open dialogue. Hey, I'm upset about this. What you said really upset me. I'm gonna explain why it upset me, and then we can talk it out.
Yeah,
because and I've had to do it to people. I'm like, listen, what you said really upset me. Maybe I took it the wrong way. Maybe I'm mad for the wrong reason. I need you to understand that I'm mad, though.
Don't leave any room for misunderstanding.
It happens, though. Misunderstandings happen in conversation or in things or in whatever, and it's okay to misunderstand. But explain.
But be willing to attack the problem and not each other.
Yes. Yes. And these are all positive things we're trying to get across, because I've definitely. I've definitely, I'm just as guilty as anybody else for dumb shit, saying dumb shit, doing dumb shit. I'm a bad breaker upper. Like I've gone scorched earth and on people about shit. And even if I'm the one breaking up, I can help it now, but I did dumb shit, and I feel guilty about it, and I need to unlearn those bad things. And I think for the most part I did, not always, but it's. You're never stop working on yourself, especially
you're absolutely right, dude.
And now that I'm single, I've been single since I was like 14. I have time to deal with my own bullshit.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's I have my anger issues too that I need to work out as well. I feel like I never properly managed how to cope with a lot of anger issues.
You're a tuck it deep down inside and hope for the best kind of guy. I can tell.
But that's the worst, because
Yeah,
when
because you're
you
gonna
blow
blow
up,
up.
you blow up.
Well, you
blow up,
got
it's
a
bad.
boy there, and I think look at him and think, how do you want him to treat people?
Oh, dude, yeah.
And he's a nice little kid too. He's a nice boy.
He's a sweetheart. Man.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, like I'm gonna cry if I talk about my son, dude. I can't.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I have the opposite problem. You have a sweet boy. I love my daughter, but she's the meanest motherfucker. She's got her mom's horrible attitude. Her mom is someone who I'm still friends with her. We care about each other in whatever respective way we have to. But she's got my temper and her mom's temper. It's the worst fucking thing. She's so mean.
Oh, man.
I love her to death, but she'll just be like, she'll do this shit, and I'm just like, why are you doing this to me?
and hey, I'll say this: my son, he is sweet, and I'll always think of him as sweet. But no, he has some anger issues too, man.
Yeah,
but
like his dad.
What's funny? Yeah, like his dad. But no, here's what's funny though, is that he's gotten better at one aspect, is that when he would get really easily frustrated, and when he get frustrated, he would let out a big old screech of a yell, like okay, like yeah, I don't want it. Okay, got it. Now he annoyingly learned, I don't want to eat, and stuff like that. He says that, but also
that's better than screaming.
But another thing he does now, it's a sound, and I think he got this from me too. It's awful. Instead of screaming now, he lets out like it's really hilarious. It's like an audible like
I've heard you do that. I've heard you do that.
Yeah.
I've heard you sigh on this podcast. So he got that from you, because I've heard you fucking do it.
Oh,
yeah, you'll go like this. You'll go, oh, that's you.
He does that instead of yell now, which is sweet and awesome. That he's like,
that's definitely his dad. I've heard you do it. Yeah. That's verbatim. That's perfect.
Funny.
Man. Mine does the opposite. So she thinks everything's funny, like me. Every horrible thing is funny.
My
one day, so we were and she gets like, she snaps like that. So we were at dinner one time, and my mom's boyfriend, but she calls him grandpa. He's close, and she took a binky so she could eat. As soon as she took that binky out, she went for a fork to stab him. That's me right away. Instinct.
What's up with what the fuck, man? Like that's
I would stab a motherfucker. I have not stabbed anybody if cops are looking or listening to this. I've stabbed motherfuckers. Like I will do it quickly.
So you're gonna edit out the part where you mentioned the fork stabbing that you did.
No, because it's appropriate. I like to stab. I used to like to stab people.
Oh man,
I had a little problem when I was younger. I was a crazy homeless person for a little bit there. I had to stab people every once in a while.
Let me check something here. Okay, sorry, I had
butt stuff.
No, I had to check what percent my phone is at. But hey, I wanted to talk about because we're not gonna be releasing anything for Christmas though. But we just
we could do a Christmas special if you wanted to, like a quick thing for Christmas.
That could be cool.
Do like
we just hit December.
This will come out after December.
I know, but like when people are listening to it, they have context.
Yeah.
Why I'm bringing up Christmas shit.
do you want to do like something Christmas before Christmas Eve or something like that, or do like a 10-minute?
Maybe
do like a 10
minute. Figure that out.
We could do it before one of the shows or something like that, and just do like a 10-minute. This is our Christmas. Hey, how's your Christmas? Oh, you want fucking suck cock? You fucking Christmas piece
horse
of shit.
Cock.
Yeah, whole bunch of fucking horse cock. This episode was not about cock. It was about butt stuff. Get your butt eaten.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like
which I just said yes to. I don't actually.
Never had your butt. You never had your butt eaten.
No,
it's fantastic. Okay. You've missed out. If you are a clean man, if you are a man who showers and cleans your butthole, it will feel good. It'll feel great.
Okay.
I enjoy it quite a bit.
I will see if I can take the same route that Tom Segura is trying to take with Christina, and I will see if I can get my girlfriend to eat my scrum.
Have her start playing with your taint. That's what I do. But then I found out I had a wicked scar on my taint. So We just skipped right on to the ass stuff.
Oh man. Well, on that note, man.
If your lady's listening, tell her to get you a loofah with a
I'm looking
long
at
handle.
a ring light, and she's in front of me, but I can't tell she's awake. So like I can't see her.
What is
face.
she's fucking falling asleep all the time.
Because she's waiting for me to get out so we can hang out.
Every time we're doing this very important podcast. She can be listening to this for free. She's gonna have to pay for it now.
Yeah.
With butt eating.
I'm gonna force her on sometime.
We'd gladly have her on. We got if we have people like Wholesome Peaks on, we can have her on. We might have Glitter Peaks on after that. I have to figure out. She said she'd do it anytime. I don't know what else she does.
For sure. Yeah, dude. There's a few people who would like to be.
Who else? Those are the two I could think of. Who else? Who else is there?
Well, no. There's a few. There's. I talked to my buddy from the record store.
Yeah. So you gonna give us free records?
No. No, dude, he's down to do it. I'll be down for that.
I'm not bringing people I know on because I don't know anybody that I would want to talk to.
He's a huge Twin Peaks fan. I know
Is
that.
he?
He's a huge David Lynch
have
fan.
Him on. We'll talk about Twin Peaks.
No, yeah, he's perfect. He's full of stories. He has like a signed inlet copy of Inland Empire and everything, and
that's cool.
And all that. Yeah, so he's been around. He's seen a bunch of stuff, gone to a bunch of shit. He goes to the conventions too sometimes. I
don't like conventions. I don't like a lot of people.
I've never really been to one. I've never been to any convention. Really.
When I worked at a comic store, I used to go to the comic conventions all the time, and I would buy comics. I mean, I don't know. People would like dress up and shit. And I don't want to dress up.
Yeah.
And there's the thing I always have with those. There's always girls there that are like cosplay girls that people want to meet. I'm thinking, what do you do? You're just
like professional cosplayers.
This is what you do, like, and I want to meet you for this reason. And they're beautiful people, and they work really hard on their costumes, and they do a really good job. I get the appeal of looking at them. I don't want to meet you. Fuck am I looking? Who the fuck are you? You're just some motherfucker in a costume. You're not even the real. You're not even the real. You're not even the real person in the costume. You're just a fake fucking person putting on a different costume.
To them, they're the real person, man.
Well, I appreciate how hard they work. I think that some of the cosplay people I've seen are fucking amazing. They look really cool. They look like them, but I don't want to fucking meet you. Like, who the fuck? You're not anybody. You're not the real.
You don't want to meet anybody.
Even, I don't fucking. Yeah, I definitely don't want to.
You don't want to meet anybody.
I definitely want to meet people I gotta pay to meet. Like if I meet Adam West, okay, he's fucking Batman. If I meet a chick who dresses up like Batwoman, you ain't fucking. Who the fuck are you? He didn't do anything. He's dressed up like
they're not the dude from the Dead Milkmen.
Yeah, I didn't have to pay to meet that dude. He had to pay to meet me because he bought them seats in front of me.
You have to word it that way, right? Yeah. You could just word it the same way towards with you being the person that
he had to pay. To me. He knew. He said, "I want the seats in front of Sean." He said, "I'm motherfucking seats in front of that motherfucker."
He knew.
I said, and he knew it was me. He said, "I know that motherfucker." I used to sing Dead Milkmen songs in one of my shitty bands.
Nice.
Because it's the only music that I can sing to because I have such a terrible fucking singing voice that I can do Dead Milkmen songs. They sound like shit.
I've been practicing my singing voice. I'm still playing a lot of guitar and learning all these fucking Nick Cave songs, dude. I'm always
you're gonna high harmonize.
I will fucking go on live and I'll do a whole show, man. No, I won't. I'm kidding. Don't.
We heard it here. He's gonna do a whole.
Fuck you. Shut up.
This is I edit this stuff. You don't get to fucking choose.
Fuck you. I'm out.
He's on it. He's gonna be doing 2 live shows a week, folks. For tips go to me. I'll give you my
Patreon.
Yeah,
Patreon. $1,000 tier.
To be you doing some songs for $1,000. I'll play the maracas or something.
Sweet.
I'll play the tambourine. I can play the drums, not well.
Yeah, you told me you could play the drums. I wanted to play the drums more.
I don't want to play the fucking drums.
Okay.
This is you're the musician here. I'm a guy, just a guy. I'm a normal man.
Dude, I
doesn't want to meet people.
Hold on. I don't want to die on you. Okay, hold on.
We're still recording.
Dying on me. Sorry.
We're still recording.
No, I just wanted to see what percentage my phone was at, because like I'm afraid my shit's just gonna turn off. But no, we're good. I almost bought a violin.
You can't play the violin
on Amazon.
You don't know how to play the violin. You don't know how to play the violin.
Hey, no, I was in a music class in elementary school, and we
dude,
did,
you can play the record. You can play Hot Cross Buns on the fucking recorder.
Hey, you know what those holes on the violin are called?
Yeah, for fucking.
Well, they're called F holes.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, that's what I meant. I did know that because I can play the violin.
You can?
No, fuck, I can't play the fucking violin. Are you kidding me? I'm musically ignorant.
I want to grow out the beard and be the next one. I'll be the next one now.
He started playing when he was a little kid.
I really did I almost did buy a fucking violin.
What? Don't buy a violin.
No, they're not
buy an accordion and hope for the best.
No, dude, because actually you can incorporate the string, the whole string theory with not string theory.
The universe is all interconnected by a single yoke. Is that what I meant, the violin? So he buys a violin on Amazon, and that proves that the universe is connected by a single yoke. Everybody, we've solved string theory. If some cunt in LA County buys a fucking cheap violin off of Amazon, we're done. The heat death of the universe will occur.
But no, what I was getting at, like, I play guitar, so it's like
you can
string.
I get it. The string theory, yeah. This theory about strings, yes, quite literally.
There's a lot you can incorporate, because I was able to incorporate that into fucking keyboard and piano playing.
Yeah,
I'm not good at keyboard and piano playing, but it's a similar way that you understand it.
Yeah, yeah. It's the method.
So, and I really love a violin, dude. And I think it would be fun to experiment with electric acoustic violin. Those ones you can plug in and do a bunch of shit with.
Like the one from Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh yeah.
Like a light up violin, huh?
Maybe. I don't think. Actually, I'm sorry. I don't think I'm remembering what you're talking about.
At the end of Revenge of the Nerds, they do like maybe it was 2. He has like a light up violin. It's electric.
Yeah, fuck. I don't remember.
They were bad movies. It doesn't matter. We talk about that too much too.
Yeah.
We're one note ponies here on DarkPeaks podcast. It's not. Next up is going to be a review of Mice and Men starring John Malkovich.
And I tend to bunnies.
Yeah, Gary Sinise, who hasn't worked since 2010.
Oh man! So what's our next top 5 going to be?
The next top 5 is an easy one for us. We're approaching a different medium. Top 5 video games.
Woo! All right, cool.
That one is going to be difficult for me.
This one's going to be probably easy and probably like
you don't play games, do you?
I used to a lot, but not the best games either. Though I mean, it's a lot of my list will be nostalgia based. I'm sure.
Can't wait.
But they're good. They're good games. So I think.
What do you think? It's nothing but fucking FIFA and Gran Turismo.
Tonga.
The Tongan Kid, his game. Wacky World of the Tongan Kid for the ZX Spectrum. That could be a game. Most of that sounds like gibberish to you. Yeah, it does. I figured here's my logic behind this. We talked about movies. We talked about music. Mm-hmm. I'm a gamer, but I wouldn't consider myself like deep into the gaming world. But I figure top 5 games, easy one. We could talk about it. We can see how we do. We can see if people like it, and then maybe we'll talk more about video games. Maybe.
Yeah. Next thing you know, we started Twitch and all this shit.
Dude, you see what they do on Twitch, man? They just like blow and shit into the fucking mic and some dirty broads up there.
No, I'm okay on that.
They got banned for having like the sexy Twitches because they're not doing anything. And like, I get it. So then they moved to ASMR, where they were just like licking microphones and shit, wearing sexy outfits, licking microphones.
Mhm.
I'm thinking, why would you want to watch that? I don't want
You
to watch
just
a
wanna
chick
hear
dressed
it,
like
right?
Spider-Man licking a microphone. I don't want to watch it.
Wow.
I don't really get the ASMR thing, except for, like I said, people saying the word cold brew. Fucking
Cold brew, you
yeah.
love hearing that.
I don't know what
those
it is. That
two
makes me
words together.
quiver all over. I watch those Dr. Squatch commercials and I let them run because that motherfucker says cold brew like 6 times. And I'm like, yeah.
You know, I'm not into ASMR either, but hey man, I will say this. If anybody can do it well, I bet Blixa can do a great ASMR.
I don't want to listen to his fucking ASMR. It'd be so annoying.
Because you think he'll sneak in a fucking
He'll wait till you're almost asleep and then shriek at you or something horrible.
what I-
Like I'm like, oh man, I can't get
Fucking
off. I
badass,
can't
man.
get off to this.
Tell me he doesn't have a very gentle and calm voice though.
I think he's a good-looking guy too. For like a weird dude, he's like a weird-looking
For
guy.
being a weird Berlin dude, yeah, I'd agree.
Weird
Back in
Berlin
the day, especially.
Yeah, he's a very unique-looking fella. I would say it's attractive.
Yeah,
bordering on attractive. I mean, I think Nick Cave is attractive, and he's not.
It's funny. My girlfriend was seeing old photos of him when he was younger because I
He's
think
hot.
I told her yeah we watched.
Yeah, he was
Oh
really
yeah,
hot.
he was like she said yeah Nick Cave was really attractive in his younger days.
He
Like,
had that the dark, tall, dark, and mysterious. I mean, he was the epitome of that. He was tall, dark, and mysterious.
And then I showed her pictures of him with his big old hair from the birthday party. I'm like,
and then do you show him nothing but mustache pictures?
I love the mustache.
If that doesn't kill you,
stash.
if that doesn't kill you, your attraction to him, nothing will.
You know, a lot of that. I think I you know what I got from that is I think he was trying to make himself ridiculous on purpose.
I think he just thought the mustache. He just liked the mustache. I think you're reading too much into it.
No, I like the way he talked about it before. You know, I think he was talking about it in like a weird hindsight thing, and it was a weird form of ego death in a way. It's about not taking this shit too seriously.
It's really easy to talk about after you get rid of the mustache while you have the mustache.
Hey man, I still like what he said.
After I got rid of the bodies, I can wax poetically about what happened with them. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. You grew a mustache because you liked the mustache, and then you got rid of the mustache because everybody hated the mustache, and now you got some bullshit to say about this fucking mustache. Get the fuck out of here, you fucking liar. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear that he waxed poetically about the fucking ego death of the fucking mustache.
I like hearing him wax
so
poetic.
nonsense. I love Nick Cave, but he is so full of shit. It's unreal.
Oh, fuck off. No.
So full of shit.
That's you killing the poetry in the world. Fuck you.
He wrote a poetry about a mustache.
It wasn't really poetry. He wrote it wonderfully. It wasn't a poem.
He wrote an epic poem that of Beowulf or Paradise Lost about a fucking mustache.
All right. Anyways, everyone, grow out a porn stash.
I have them. Mine grows like Fu Manchu. It actually goes the whole way down like that.
Mine does too.
Yeah,
Mine does too. Look,
pretty cool.
You can see it.
We like it. I'm gonna shave and just keep the Fu Manchu and get it real long.
See if I can do the twirl thing.
I can do. I have beard. Yeah, I can. Yeah. You know, I'm gonna do the Hulk. Wax. I'm gonna do the Hulk Hogan thing where my mustache is blonde, but my hair is black right here. Yes. So I get the blonde Fu Manchu, and I can go. It's not gonna work for me, brother.
Just get a soul patch. That's all I need, dude.
I've had a soul patch before, right here. I did. Yeah. Right there.
That's great.
I used to cut it because I get gray, like right here. But not right here. So I'd cut it into just the soul patch to get rid of the gray because I was like 17. But my hair's not gray, so I don't know.
I'm getting a lot of grays.
I'm not getting any grays. I'm hoping for grays. I'm looking to be an old guy as quickly as possible. And I'm hoping, but it's not working for me. They give you soup. You can do whatever you want. I can shit anywhere because I'm old. I'm old.
No one's gonna tell me a fucking thing.
Yeah, I can go into a delicatessen and I can yell about whatever I want to yell about because it's delicatessen and I'm old. I worked in a deli and old guys would come in and they would yell, and I want to be that. All right. We'll wrap it up. Baby
All right.
here has got to have his bottle.
Yeah,
Talking about you. Piece of
I
shit.
know. I'm
All
sorry.
right. Will, this was a good one. This was good. Yeah.
It was a long one.
All right. Good night, everybody. Stay for a second and we'll talk for 2 seconds.
Yeah, sounds good.
Say
Later,
goodbye.
guys.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Oh, God damn it. I didn't turn it off. I just turned off the video.
You
I
fuck.
keep fucking